p.m. That's right. Is it Monday?
Oh, man.
It's Monday. We're back, baby.
I'll probably bag in my face come 5 o'clock tomorrow, but that's okay, though.
Constantly a bag on your face.
It was great to have Granite State of Mind back in action on Friday. And catch the replay tonight after Matt Connarton. That's going to do it for us today. Sun's going to come out around noon. You have a good day, Easy.
You too, Peter, and you, Kyle.
You have a good day, Kyle.
You as well, my friend.
And all of you out there, adios.
In times of crisis, you need a law firm that stands by your side. With over 40 years of experience, Craig and Getsoulis is dedicated to fighting for your rights. As former state prosecutors, our attorneys have the knowledge and trial experience to provide an aggressive defense against any charge, from DUIs to homicides. If you've been injured, our compassionate team will assess your case and fight for the compensation you deserve. Serving all of New Hampshire, Craig and Getsoulis is here when you need us most. Craig and Getsoulis, your advocates, your allies.
Pembroke City Limits, where it's all about the music. I want to tell you about Pembroke City Limits in the historic Suncook Village. PCL is an award-winning bar, restaurant, and music venue with live performances 5 days a week and twice on Saturdays. Everything from country, blues, folk, funk, and a whole lot of jazz. PCL has 12 local beers on tap and some really delicious food to serve you. Keep up with our live music calendar and hours of operation at PembrokeCityLimits.com. Come visit Pembroke City Limits at 134 Main Street in the historic Suncook Village, just 6 miles outside of Manchester. Pembroke City Limits, where it's all about the music.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry. Located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
You are listening to WMNH-LP 95.3 FM, broadcasting from the top of 1000 Elm Street. Our studios are located at 119 Canal Street and licensed to Manchester Public Television Service in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Contact us by email at WMNH953@gmail.com or through our website at WMNHradio.org.
Attention passengers, we've now reached our destination.
It's 9 o'clock.
You're listening to Matt Connarton Unleashed on WMNH 95.3.
And now, exclusively on WMNH 95.3 FM, Matt Connarton Unleashed presents the American radio premiere of the new track from Rivia. This is called Piece of You. And now, exclusively on WMNH 95.3 FM, Matt Connarton Unleashed presents the American radio premiere of the new single from the Falls. This is called Between the Lines.
It's the end of the night, something don't feel quite right to me. I've been taking some time to realize what's quite right for me. Well, I said people come and people go, so I try not to get involved. You never really know for sure who's gonna stick around. You take your time, it doesn't matter if you're wrong or right. You need to read between the lines and keep on guessing, keep on guessing. Cause you said you changed, but it all feels the same to me. And at the end of the day is what works best for me. Well, I said people come and people go, so I try not to get involved. You never really know for sure who's gonna stick around. You take your time, it doesn't matter if you're wrong or right. You need to read between the lines and keep on guessing, keep on guessing. Take your time, it doesn't matter if you're wrong or right. You need to read between the lines and keep on guessing, keep on guessing. You take your time, it doesn't matter if you're wrong or right. You need to read between the lines and keep on guessing, keep on guessing. Take your time, it doesn't matter if you're wrong or right. You need to read between the lines and keep on guessing, keep on guessing.
You're listening to Matt Connarton Unleashed on WMNH 95.3.
Another brand new track. This is Skull. The track is called The Whites.
Turn around and keep on running. Take two, you know it's coming. I know the lights are burning. It's time to go.
listening to WMNH 95.3.
World premiere.
Sepsis, uncross my heart.
When Matzo wakes up in the morning, he gets into the shower, and to the top of his lungs, he sings, I'm the man. I do what I want because I can. All right, back to the radio show now. All the best, Jerry.
Thanks, Jerry. Hey, welcome, everybody. Here we go. It is that time again. Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious Manchester, New Hampshire. Streaming, of course, from anywhere. Go to mattconnerton.com/live for all your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. Today is Saturday. It is August 9, 2025. And, of course, I am not alone.
Good morning, sunshines.
Yes, Jenny is. Sorry, Jenny, of course.
Was I there or not there?
Jenny, you were there. I wasn't there for a second. Yes, yes. Jenny is, of course, here at the news table.
I am.
Lots of great music to start out today's
Right?
show. And, of course, we have a very busy show for you. And right now, we're going to introduce him without further ado. Photographer Andrew Voorhees is here. Hello, Andrew.
Hello. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me on.
And so you are what would be the proper term? Photojournalist? Is that how should we refer to your profession?
I would say so. I mean, I'm a photographer, really generally all around.
Yeah.
I mainly do a lot of political stuff and photojournalism, but I also do a lot of non-photojournalism and non-political stuff as well.
Yeah. You are very when did you? Because you're a young man. When did you start doing this professionally?
Actually, so about a year ago is when I got my first actual camera, which is the camera that I still have today.
Okay.
I first started out going around to like local events, and I actually went down to Boston a lot because, I mean, being honest, around Concord, there's not really a lot of stuff to photograph over there.
Right. Well, once in a while there sure is, but we'll get to that.
Absolutely.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, no. So I first started out, just going to events and just, going around Boston, just kind of photographing the city. I started out doing some wildlife stuff. And then I also did some motorsports as well. A lot of stuff with, I've done a few things with NHMX up in Epping and NHMX 101, which is like the dirt bikes and the quad cross and stuff like that. So that was super fun.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. Excellent. What made you want to get into photography?
I was first inspired by photography when I was in 8th grade. I've always been a really big fan of history.
Yeah.
And, in school, our teacher at the time, Mr. Brown, he would show us a lot of photos of the civil rights movement in World War II. And I was very inspired by those photos because, when you take a photo, that's not all you're doing. You're really freezing a moment in time.
Right.
And that's what first interested me in that is not only just the aspect of, being outside and, with a camera, it's also you're documenting things. Even if it's something might seem mundane,
sure.
you're still freezing that moment in time,
Yeah.
And I remember seeing these photos and being, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to get out there. I want to document. I mean, because it's important, people need to know what's going on in their communities and people have a right to know what's going on.
Right.
And it's one thing to hear about an event, but when you see it visually, even through a photo, you get that deeper level of understanding of, oh, this is what happened.
Mm-hmm. Are you something that comes up on the show a lot, and we haven't really talked about it when it comes to photography. We talk about it a lot when it comes to music, but AI and the encroachment of AI, for lack of a better way of putting it, into creative endeavors. And I'm curious to get your thoughts on that, because now, and this is something we'll probably get into a little bit more later too, but now there's, it's easier than ever, of course, to create a photo or a video or anything, that is AI generated. And it's also, but not only does it make it easy to fake things, or easier to fake things than it used to be, but also it makes it easier for people to say, oh, I don't believe this is real when they see it. And obviously that directly affects what you're doing, because like you said, when you take a photo of something, you're documenting it, you're creating evidence that this happened. This is an event. This is something that is real. But I mean, how do you feel about AI, and do you feel threatened by it? Are you concerned about it? Are you not worried about it?
So there is definitely a level of concern when it comes to AI. Because, I mean, AI is supposed to, help us, not replace us.
Right.
That is what the intention of AI should be. But we are definitely seeing a lot more now that AI is encroaching on that line of, because again, like you just said, there are a lot of people who will now be like, oh, that's fake.
Right.
And it is definitely very damaging when, people do that because of tools like that. I think it definitely is something that needs to be regulated, because then things will start to, go out of control. Because again, like as a photographer, I have had people fully on tell me that my photos are fake.
Oh yeah.
And people are a lot more emboldened to say that because of tools like AI.
Right.
Because before, like I always say this a lot, is the undeniable proof of photographic evidence is one of the most important things that we have.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're living in a day and age where that kind of means, hey, I can just type this thing in a chat GPT and generate it right there. So why can't you do the same thing?
Right.
And it's like, well, I'm not. So,
Right.
but it definitely is starting to concern me a bit, especially with, what just happened. Because you do have a lot of people going out there and be like, oh, that's fake.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not, sir.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, it is definitely a concern for me.
Well, we should talk about, because this is an instance where I assume you didn't expect going into the event where you took photographs that we're about to talk about. I assume you didn't expect to go in there and get necessarily the kinds of photos that came out of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. So for those who don't know, I covered the neo-Nazi demonstration that happened in Concord at the Capitol building. There was a 50-51 protest that was being held, but it was kind of they did try to take it over, but they eventually failed and left.
Yeah.
But I did not expect to turn onto the road of, my Capitol building and see that.
Yeah.
And once I saw that, I realized people are probably going to think the same thing, like, oh, there's no way that, they were here in Concord, New Hampshire.
Right.
So that's why the first thing that I did, I threw my bag on the ground, ripped my camera out, and started photographing, because like I said earlier, photographic evidence is very important.
Yep.
Because, people might not know that it happened, or, like we said earlier, people might be like, oh, that didn't happen, this is fake.
Right.
But then when I show you a photo of it, then you can't really sit there and say it's fake. So
Right.
it is very important because people need to know and people have a right to know what's going on in their community.
Yeah, absolutely. So in that moment, I mean, have you had any other moments that even approach that in terms of, oh my God, I gotta hurry up and grab my camera and get out there?
Absolutely. So my friend, I live right on Manchester Street in Concord, like right next to where all the car dealerships are, Brookside and all of that.
I know. I grew up in Concord. I know it well. Yeah, I know exactly where you mean. Yeah.
My friend, Jaden, he actually works at Brookside, and one day he sent a video of the apartment building. So this actually happened last month. The apartment building next to Brookside was on fire.
Oh my God.
And he was like, he sent that to me and I was like, dude, I got to get over there. So I grabbed my bag. I sped over there. I was like 2 minutes away. By the time I got there, the fire department already had the flames, dimming down. So, thank you to Concord Fire Department, all the other fire departments that were there.
Yeah.
That was probably the first moment where I was like, oh, I need to grab my camera and go.
Yeah.
And, go to this without, warning or anything like that. As a photographer, it's definitely another level of adrenaline when it's not a planned thing.
Right. Oh, I can imagine.
Especially something like a fire. So I got there, I photographed the fire department at work and stuff like that. Because that's another thing that people need to know about is events like that and stuff, because that also affects a lot of people. Because, after that event, there was a lot of people without homes.
Yeah.
Again, it's also a very scary thing because, that can happen really at any time.
Right. Right.
And it's also good to get those photos for the fire department, so they have those. And yeah, it wasn't necessarily what happened at the Capitol building type of experience, but it was definitely still a very, crazy situation to walk up to and see what was going on.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. Do you ever have anything happen where you go to photograph something and it winds up, I mean, are you ever disappointed? Like, do you ever find something isn't as interesting to photograph as you expected, or has that ever happened?
Yeah, there's definitely been those times, but I feel like as a photographer, especially as I gain more experience, you realize how to photograph things like that might seem mundane or boring and stuff like that. You really learn and you get that eye of what I should actually capture instead of just being like, this isn't going well. So, there's definitely that thing I try to keep in the back of my head of, let's find something, because there's always a story or there's always something to show people out there.
Right.
As I kind of mentioned earlier that, even though Concord is kind of a boring place to photograph, as long as you look, there's always something out there.
Right. Right. No doubt. I want to circle back to AI for a moment, because how can you tell? Like, do you have any advice for people who, and whatever we say about it today might not even matter, a year from now, a month from now, who knows, because the technology moves so fast. But if somebody says to you, for example, well, how do I know this photograph that you took is real? How do I know this is an AI? What can you tell other than, well, I was there, what can you tell them, or is there anything you can say really?
Well, I have an SD card with raw files on them that
Yeah,
you can take
yeah.
a look at. But again, obviously, I'm not going to show up to someone's house with my SD card and be like, well, here you go.
Yeah.
There are definitely ways to tell if an image is AI. There's a lot of things that can factor into it. Is the quality of the image. Because like if I have an actual camera, obviously it's not going to look like it was taken off of a potato. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
The other thing you look for is really just like human anatomy. Is there a few extra fingers, or are people's faces smudged together and stuff like that?
AI has a problem with fingers.
Yeah, it's definitely they have a very big problem with getting those features down. So that's important to look for. Certain colors. There's things that just wouldn't make sense.
Right.
Like a group of people merging together in like a blob, stuff like that. But
Right.
it is getting harder and harder to tell. Like I don't know if you've seen the. I believe it's called the Google VO3 or something like that, I believe.
I
where
know
it's
of it. I haven't tried it.
Yeah,
but,
it's like people are able to create these like very realistic looking videos, and you got to look at the progression of AI. Like I believe in like 2023 is when it first really started to kind of emerge of, you can create these AI videos of, like Will Smith eating spaghetti or something.
Right.
And now it's merged into, and you could clearly tell back then that, this is AI, like his fingers are like disappearing into his face and stuff like that. But now it's kind of getting to the point where it takes longer and longer to kind of look at it and realize, okay, this is AI. And again, if that's the kind of progression it's had since 2023, I mean, could you imagine what it's going to be like 2 years from now?
Right. Right.
And it is a very, very scary thought because, I mean, not only does that come into play when it comes to my job of people saying this is fake, you got to think what that would do to the world, especially when it comes to deep fakes. People can make deep fakes of political leaders, celebrities, or even of you. You know what I mean? It's a very real concern. And this is why I say, like, it really is something that needs to be regulated, because if it's not, it's going to spiral out of control. And a lot of people think that way, so I don't really know why it's not really happening.
I keep seeing these videos that show up in my feed on Facebook. I'll see these shorts of videos of like floods and like tsunamis and things. And one of the ways I can always tell, I mean, I'm sure there's some of them that look so real that I can't tell they're fake, but there is one tell in a lot of these is how the people in the videos react. Like you'll see this huge wave coming and people aren't running away.
Yeah, they're just standing
some
there.
Some of them are running away, but some of them are just standing there like they're not afraid of, it's like, okay, that's not how people would react in that situation.
Yeah.
Everybody would run.
Or it's like you can tell by their movements too. It's like, you know what I mean? Like their arm will spin all the way around or something like that.
Right.
But again, especially when it comes to a lot of, older people, to say they are more attuned to believe things like that, obviously, but and that also poses the other danger of, scammers have also been using stuff like that to lure people into just draining their accounts. And it is a very horrible situation, and I hope that something is done about it rather sooner than later.
Yeah. I don't know what can be done though, not to
Yeah, no, absolutely. So that's the thing is we need to actually have conversations about this and, figure something out, because it does need to be addressed.
Yeah.
And that's where it starts, just having simple conversations with each other and be like, all right, what are we going to do about this? Your state and local legislators, and just bringing it all the way up.
Yeah. I don't know how you put this genie back in the bottle. I really don't. I mean, honestly, I really don't. But yeah, there are concerns. I mean, obviously, AI can do some great things too.
Absolutely.
We've our first experience with AI, actually live on the radio. There's a couple of Suno and Udio seem to be the two biggest ones where you can make music using AI.
Yep.
And we did an experiment live on the show. I said we had something where we had a guest who had canceled or something, but we always find ways to fill the time. So I said, let's, this was something I'd kind of had in the back of my mind. Let's use the Suno app, because I'd created an account, and their free account is actually pretty generous. And let's just create a song live on the air. We'll put in a prompt and we'll create, and oh my God, like they're so good. Like they're legitimately good. Like it's not like, oh, this is obviously AI when you listen to it. You know what I mean? It's pretty incredible what it can do. And, and I have mixed feelings about that, because on one hand, because of where I come from and my background and what I do, I will always, always advocate for artists, for musicians, and protecting them and everything. On the other hand, when you type in an idea and it creates this great song for you, it's like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do?
The other thing that plays into it is, people's job security, and it just comes down straight to like human creativity. No matter what AI can do, at the end of the day, humans created AI, and humans have done those things on their own without AI.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's you mentioned too deep fake videos, and part of the problem too is people will tend to, just broadly speaking, even if you take AI out of the equation, people are easily fooled when they're being told something or shown something that they want to believe.
Yeah.
We all carry, some people more than others, and we won't get into that, but you know what I'm talking about. But we all carry, it's part of human nature, some degree of confirmation bias in our brains. And so we're always, all of us are more apt to believe certain things more easily. And so, if they comport with what we already think and believe, or like to think and believe, and therefore, it's very, very, because that's the thing too, even if there are tells, this is part of the problem. Even if there are certain ways that you can tell that something is AI, if you want to be fooled by it, you will be. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if
absolutely,
you want to
absolutely.
be, then you will be.
I
Regardless.
mean, even before AI, people were saying things were fake and they didn't believe them and stuff. That's why I truly feel like what I do to this day is still very, very important,
Yes.
still relevant. Because there are a lot of people out there who might just be like, "Oh, you're just taking photos." I mean, if you really want to simple it down like that, but at the same time, especially with AI and all this other stuff, it is very important for, people like me to get out there and document things accurately.
Yes.
That's why I get photos of everything. I'm not just taking photos of one side, or I'm not just taking photos of a select group of people. I get everything because at the end of the day, no matter what your beliefs are, the truth is important.
Absolutely. Oh, well said. Perfectly said. If you're just joining us, we're talking with photojournalist, tripped on that word. I should just say photographer. Andrew Voorhees. No, but what you do is more than just photography.
Yeah,
so it's
absolutely.
important to get that out. Andrew Voorhees is here with us. And I also want to talk to you about, we've been talking about AI technology, also phones. Like your cell phone can take incredible pictures depending on some of the new phones, it's amazing what they can do. Is that a threat to what you do in any way?
So when it comes to the phones, I don't believe so. I'm actually very glad that, people who aren't able to get a super expensive or a fancy camera can use their phone to document things like this, because there's not always going to be someone with a nice camera around to document things like that. So I actually think it's a good thing that other people have the ability to document events like this, even if it is just a cell phone. Do I think they're going to take my job? Absolutely not. I mean, you got to look at just the things you can do with cameras. It's just on a whole other level.
Yeah.
The iPhones, they definitely have, the quality on them has gotten insane.
Oh, yeah.
But when we're talking about the level of photos and the storytelling that you can do with a camera, it's just on a whole new level. And I might be a little biased saying this as a photographer, but even before I was a photographer, it's what truly inspired me was photos with actual cameras. I feel like you're able to tell more of a story with a camera, and you're able to get a deeper understanding of things when it's actually taken by a camera.
Sure.
But definitely I do believe it is a good thing that, everyone can have the ability to document events, because that is also very important too.
Absolutely.
And you can see all sides in that way,
Yeah.
And again, like I said earlier, the truth is important. Whether, again, it doesn't matter what your beliefs are, at the end of the day, as long as the truth is what gets out there, that's what's important.
Can you tell? Can you tell if a picture was taken with a camera or a phone?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yep. It's. I mean, especially as a photographer, it's very easy to tell. But if you're not, it's very easy to give you a simple explanation and be like, "Oh, here, you know what I mean." That would actually be a pretty good test to do, actually, just to to test my eye a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
Mainly because mainly the way you can tell is the depth of field.
Okay.
Is like, when it comes to cameras, crazy. But also, I mean, just image quality in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like typically, even now, like the more you zoom in with an iPhone, the worse and worse the image gets.
Yeah.
But if you're, someone like me who has like a 200 millimeter lens, you can really get in there and it's still crystal clear.
Interesting.
So,
okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So what you take the picture with is important, right? Gear is important.
Absolutely.
Because I'm also curious, too, for anyone who's listening to this conversation who's interested in doing what you do, that's something you probably want to impress upon people, right? Like what you use, yeah, it's fine to take pictures with your phone, but to do what you do, you really need a professional camera, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And especially like if you do want to do photography, you are definitely going to need a camera.
Yeah.
That is definitely an important thing. So what I would recommend doing is at first, like anything, even with photography, I was like, okay, this seems like something I'm interested in. But there are some things where you're like, oh, I'm interested in this, but then you start doing it and you're like, I don't really like this,
Mm-hmm.
So my recommendation would be because there's actually a store here in Manchester called Hunt's. It's a photo store. You can actually rent a camera for like the day or the week and stuff. So that would be my recommendation, is to rent a camera, for a day or a week or, whatever you think is adequate. Rent out, because you can actually rent lenses and stuff like that as well.
Okay.
So that would be my recommendation, was to start out doing that, renting, and rent different types of cameras, like rent a Fujifilm or a Nikon or a Canon or a Sony, just to see what feels comfortable to you and what, aspects of certain brands that you like.
Right.
Because that is also very important in photography, is, it's not, people aren't necessary. I mean, people ours and, any other community are very brand heavy, but at the same time, it's really, just what are you most comfortable with? What do you like using? What specs do you like about certain cameras?
Sure.
So yeah, just renting stuff out and just going out and just really taking pictures of anything.
Yeah.
Like literally anything when you're starting out, just to not only be like, hey, do I actually like this, what I'm doing right now? And also learning the mechanics of the camera, learning, all that stuff. And just learning what to photograph, learning how to photograph it. It was I'm still definitely learning. I mean, no matter what you do, there's always room to learn and grow. And it's very, very interesting. As someone who's very passionate about the work that I do, I'm always down to learn everything that I can when it comes to photography. So that is another thing I would recommend, is just learn.
Yeah.
I've like the majority of what I've learned, I've done on my own with, YouTube and talking to those around me, so that's the other aspect too, is, joining clubs, talking to other photographers, stuff like that can go a really long way.
I wonder how many people are interested in doing this, but then they become overwhelmed, because we kind of live in a culture where a lot of things, well, now you're very young. Jenny and I were Gen X, so we're like the last generation that actually grew up pre-internet. And I wonder how many people are just kind of they get discouraged because it all is more complicated than maybe they expect, because they think it's going to be easy, because so many things are easy.
Yeah.
In terms of just like, again, like taking pictures with your phone, they think, okay, well, I'm going to be a photographer. Okay, I better get a real camera to do this. Oh, there's a lot to learn, like trying different cameras, like you said, trying different lenses and so forth. It's not like you just, okay, now I have a real camera. Now I'm going to go take some pictures and it's going to be great and I'm a professional. It's not like that. It's like it's like anything else. You have to actually learn and spend the time.
Yeah.
You've put the time in to learn all this stuff, but a lot of people, they get impatient and they get frustrated and,
Yeah, and honestly, I've been there,
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, but really, again, when you're passionate about something, you realize, hey, this is what I want to do. You stick through it, on the highs and the lows.
Yep.
It is that, like I said, it happened to me, and it's definitely a very real thing that can happen, where you're like, oh, this looks super easy. Because before I got into photography, I'm like, oh, you're just pointing a camera and pressing a button.
Right.
It's definitely more than that.
Yeah.
But once you sit there and you actually start learning, a lot of it just makes, for me, it just like that. It was just super quick. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's what this setting does. That's what this does. Okay, awesome. And then you just kind of collectively take all the things that you've learned and just really, when it comes to a camera, when you do one thing, it affects something else. So, you know what I mean? Like when you up your ISO, it adds more light into the camera, but it also makes the image more fuzzy. So stuff like that. So like almost every setting that you can mess with, it also messes with something else.
Yep.
And once you learn that, really, those basic things, you're not necessarily set, but you can from there you can just go.
Yeah.
And it is definitely a very, very interesting process because, as a photographer, the weather hates us.
Oh, yeah.
So, and it also goes down to the gear that you have as well.
Yeah.
The more gear you have, the different types of gear you have, the more you can do, really. You can definitely do a lot with, I even have right now, as a 20-year-old who doesn't have a lot of money. I only have, one camera body and 3 lenses. Even with that, you can do a lot.
Yeah.
But the more equipment that you have and the type of equipment that you have, you can do a lot more. You can shoot indoors, you can shoot at night, you can shoot when it's cloudy, stuff like that. So really, it might not even come down to, what you know and what you don't know. It just comes down to what tools do I have available.
Yeah. Have you been in situations, you mentioned the weather, have you been in situations where you needed to photograph something in weather that was challenging?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with, only one camera body and 3 lenses. It happens more often, especially in the winter.
I bet.
Especially in the winter. I'm like, because again, lighting's a big thing when it comes to me. It can be very, especially indoors. Like this right now, it's very well lit room. But if I were to take my camera out, it's not going to look so light through my camera,
right.
Especially with my long lens. But with my 1.4 50 lens in here, it would look pretty good. But again, that's a very, very short lens. You can't really zoom in and stuff like that. And that's the other thing. When you zoom in with a camera, it also gets darker as well. So,
okay.
Yeah, so it can be very challenging when you're in a very big open room and you're trying to get those, close-up shots of, people talking and stuff like that, or just, what have you, whatever you're photographing. But again, it's just gear. There's so much out there. It's insane. Like I could literally look online for like hours and hours and be like, oh, I want this, I want that, I want that. So it's also very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no doubt. Do you have a favorite thing to photograph? Is there something, anything in particular, like political events, or is there anything that that you...
So I cover a lot of protest, and I would say not only is it my favorite thing to photograph, but it is definitely the thing that I'm best at.
Yeah.
Is just, telling people stories of, resistance.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that got me really interested in photography was I love talking to people. I love hearing people's stories, where did you come from? Why are you here? Just learning about people is something that fascinates me. I just love talking to fellow humans, and telling their stories, to be able to not only tell their story, but show people their story through the visual aspect of photography is just something I love.
Yeah.
And again, it's also very important to document events like that. Again, no matter what your belief is, that's still history. You know what I mean? It's still history. And to be able to be at those events and meet the people that I meet, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's like one of the things that I'm best at.
Yeah.
I mean, the quality of images that I've been able to get through those events is just insane.
Right.
Also another thing that I really love to photograph is the motorsports. Love it.
Oh, really?
I love it. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Just to watch them jump up on their dirt bikes and stuff like that. It's great. I mean, it's awesome.
Is it I would imagine I'm guessing, tell me if I'm right, that part of what's exciting about that is the challenge of getting like a really good sort of action shot. Yeah.
And then when you look back, and then when I get home and I look back at my shots, I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all they're just midair. It's great. I do also wildlife as well. It's so cool. I've gone to the Boston Commons a lot because the squirrels will just walk right up to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I literally have a photo of my friend Bryce with an acorn in his hand, and the squirrel's literally just like up against his hand.
Really?
Grab the acorn right out of his hand.
Yeah.
It's just super cool. And I mean, a lot of street photography stuff is great as well. I mean, I've taken photos of people in Boston just playing guitars on the side of the street, stuff like that. And again, it's like to other people that might seem like super mundane, but you're capturing a moment there.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just with a camera, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Right? That's another aspect I love it. I'm like, this is so cool.
Right,
You
right.
know? like it's great.
Not only that, but if you take a picture of somebody with a guitar, you never know. You know,
Exactly.
right. You just never know.
And that's the other cool aspect of it. And again, it's like when you, as a photographer, when you take a photo of someone, that's also a conversation initiator. You know, as I mentioned before, I love talking to people, and that's a great way to be like, hey, I got this super cool photo of you. At the same time, some people might be like, hey, why did you take a photo of me? Which
That's something I'm curious about too. So do you ever have someone who you want to take their picture and they say no?
So when it comes to me on my own, you know, when I'm out in public, I definitely do tend to ask people first, or if it's, for example, like if someone is, you know, playing a guitar or actually like doing something,
Yeah.
you know, I tend to take the photo first and then show it to them. And then, you know, if they want me to delete it, obviously I'm going to respect their right to privacy and I'm going to get rid of the photo.
Yeah.
But I definitely do make, you know, initiation to actually ask people like, hey, can I take a photo of you? Because again, like I'm very, you know, big on privacy because I mean everyone should be. It's just respectful and, you know, it's just common sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know at the the rallies and stuff like that, I've had people come up to me and they're like, are you a cop? And I'm like, no.
Really? No kidding.
I mean, it doesn't really, I mean, I got the short hair. I'm a tall, pretty, semi-fit white dude who wears khakis and, you know, polo shirts a lot.
Yeah.
So I totally get it. And I totally get, you know, people's worry about that stuff.
Sure.
But I'm like, no, I am not a police officer. And they're like, oh, well, do you work for the press or something like that? I'm like, no. I'm like, just a dude, I promise.
Yeah.
I'm with you, you know?
Yeah.
You know? But I kind of like laugh at it now, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, well, I mean, do you see a badge?
Right,
like,
right.
I'm like, no, I'm not a police officer. And it actually happened a lot yesterday I was at the Portsmouth airport photographing the anti-ICE protests there. And I did get like around 3 people who were like, hey, dude, are you a cop? And I was like,
kidding.
I was like, no.
Oh, wow.
I was like, no, I'm not.
That's funny.
Like, I just take pictures. I promise. Like,
oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but, you know, just having simple conversations with people and be like, hey, no, you know, I'm just here to document the event and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Everyone that I've come across so far has been like, oh, okay, you know, thanks for being here and stuff like that. And I do understand the worry that, I mean, we do live in, you know, pretty sketchy times right now, so I totally understand it.
By the way, Todd Ayer, of course, from the Hanging Left podcast, and he is in the chat room. He says, love to go out and have you give me a refresher on photography. And he says he loves street photography as well. Very good. And we should mention, of course, Todd from the Hanging Left. I guess you're coming on board with us officially,
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
So we'll have so Andrew and I and Todd, we host the Hanging Left podcast. You can find that online. And it is on all your favorite podcasting platforms, of course. So you're with Todd every day, right? Because you both work on the campaign.
Yeah.
We won't get into it in depth here, but the campaign, you want to mention the campaign?
Yeah, so I am a campaign photographer for Sarah Chudzinski. She's running for Congress here in New Hampshire. That's another thing that I was like, you know, back to what inspired me to do photography was not just, you know, political rallies and protests and stuff like that, but also like my absolute dream is to be a White House photographer.
Really?
Yes.
No kidding.
That is, I went to DC for my 8th grade field trip. And this was sort of where like, you know, the first flame began of, I really want to be a photographer. I've always been interested in history, you know, and you can't really be interested in history without being interested in politics. It goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't really make sense for you to like history and then not like the thing that dictates like all of history.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
But I remember being there, you know, as like a 12-year-old, 13-year-old kid, and I was just like, this is where I want to be.
Yeah.
I had an iPhone at the time, and I was just taking pictures of everything.
Yeah.
I remember I still have a photo of me in front of the White House, and I was like, that's where I want to be.
Oh, no kidding.
I have Pete Souza's photo book. He was Obama's chief White House photographer. The images, he was actually also Reagan's photographer as well.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's so interesting. He's an amazing guy, and the types of photos and the quality of photos that man was able to produce is insane.
Really?
Yeah, he's like one of those people that I look up to You know, because I mean, that's what I want to be right there in the Oval Office, photographing what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, man, I can nerd out about it for like the longest time, but it's great.
Are there any specific photos that come to mind of that are sort of iconic in your mind of at the White House that perhaps that gentleman, what would you say his name was?
Pete Souza. I believe Souza. That is how you pronounce his name.
Like, are there any specific photos you can think of that he's taken that you can describe?
The one that comes up, one of my favorite photos is the photo of Obama and his staff in the Situation Room during the Bin Laden raid.
That was the first one I thought of when you mentioned photos from the White House. Yeah,
I look at that photo almost every day, and it's like, to capture a photo like that is it's just insane.
Yeah.
I mean, that, like, it just blows my mind. Like, not only was he there in that moment, in that room with all the super important people.
Yeah.
He got to document that. Like that is forever in history because of him.
Yeah.
And that's just, the thought of that's just insane.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, even just like sort of what other people might think is like mundane, but like the photos of, you know, one of Obama's daughters like sneaking behind the couch to like surprise him. It's like, when you think of the Oval Office, like in my brain, I'm like, oh, it's a super serious place and all this stuff. But I mean, again, at the end of the day, like they're still human,
right? Exactly.
You know, they're, especially, you know, as young girls growing up in the White House, like they're still going to do all those kid things, like, you know, scaring or surprising their dad. And it's just that. And again, it just shows like the humanity aspect, and it's just that is one of the things that also I love about photography is just capturing humanity.
Yeah.
In its purest form.
Yeah.
And it's just great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, no doubt. So that's the long-term goal. That's
yes,
kind of what
that would be, to get to DC and to do that.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. Absolutely. Oh yeah. Todd says too, yeah, that's an amazing photo. He says, show Matt the protest photo you took of me after the show.
I can definitely send that over to you.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Oh, the time goes so quick.
Yeah.
Andrew, this has been wonderful. And,
yeah, absolutely.
You know, and looking forward to talking to you, of course, on the next Hanging Left as well.
Absolutely.
Where should people go to follow you online, and if they want to see? I assume, do you have a website or something where you put a lot of these photos?
So the website is friday-photography.com.
Okay.
I also am Friday Photography on Facebook as well. So the way to find that really is the logo with the like Jason Voorhees-esque hockey mask. It's a play on my last name, you know, like Voorhees, Friday Photography, Friday the 13th, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't really know what that is, but you know, look it up. Friday the 13th is a super good horror film. I believe it came out in around the 80s.
Friday the 13th, probably. I never got into those movies, but early 80s. It had to be early 80s. Yeah.
And you can also just search up my name on Facebook as well. I post all my stuff on there. That's just A as in Apple, Ndrew, V as in Victor, Oorhees. I'm also on Instagram, Andrew.v. Hold on. Okay, let me make sure I get this right.
Definitely, yeah. We want to make sure people can...
all right, so there we go. Andrew.v13 on Instagram.
Okay, very good.
And then for those who use Blue Sky,
oh yes,
I am the camera guy 13.bsky.social.
I'll have to find you on Blue Sky if we're not already connected. I have Blue Sky. I have the app on my phone and everything, but I forget to use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I do the same thing. I'm like, oh yeah, that does exist. And I know a lot of people have switched from X to Blue Sky and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I do need to get on there a lot more.
I know every time I'm reminded of it, it's like, oh, I got to do that, and then I'll forget about it again. Well, very good. Well, Andrew Voorhees, thank you so much. This has been wonderful.
Thanks for having me on. This was awesome.
Absolutely. I'm sure we'll do it again in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll see you on the podcast.
Yeah, I'll be there.
As well. Absolutely. Wonderful. Well, if you are listening live on Saturday, stick around. Amber Nicole Cannon is coming up in the second hour. Is she in the building, Jenny? She is in the building. So looking forward to speaking with her. And in hour 3, our friend Nancy Monet is going to be joining us online via Microsoft Teams all the way from Texas to talk about her new single. But so stick around. Plenty more to come here on this Saturday on Matt Connarton Unleashed. And Andrew, thank you again.
Yeah, thank you.
You got it.
Luigi's Pizza Bar and Grill.
For everyone, let's raise a slice on high with toppings all around. It's a pizza party, oh my.
Luigi's Pizza Bar and Grill, 712 Valley Street, Manchester. Come on in or call 622-1021. Luigi, keeping the tradition alive since 1975.
Pizza for everyone, come join the feast tonight. With each slice and topping, everything feels so right.
In times of crisis, you need a law firm that stands by your side. With over 40 years of experience, Craig and Getsoulis is dedicated to fighting for your rights. As former state prosecutors, our attorneys have the knowledge and trial experience to provide an aggressive defense against any charge, from DUIs to homicides. If you've been injured, our compassionate team will assess your case and fight for the compensation you deserve. Serving all of New Hampshire, Craig and Getsoulis is here when you need us most. Visit CraigGetZoulis.com for a free consultation. Craig and Getsoulis, your advocates, your allies.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry. Located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at QueenCityCabinetryNH.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Hey everyone, this is Rob Azevedo, host of Granite State of Mind, and I want to tell you about Pembroke City Limits in the historic Suncook Village. PCL is an award-winning bar, restaurant, and music venue where there's live music 5 days a week and twice on Saturdays. Everything from blues, country, folk, funk, and a whole lot of jazz. We have 12 craft beers on tap dedicated to local brewers in the area and some of the friendliest bartenders around. Please come visit Pembroke City Limits at 134 Main Street in the historic Suncook Village, only 6 miles outside of Manchester. Open Tuesdays to Wednesdays, 4 to 10, Thursdays to Sunday, 11 to 10. Pembroke City Limits, where it's all about the music.
Diz's Cafe is the place to put a smile on your face. Judy and the crew will take care of you. Bring your appetite and treat your taste buds right. Diz's Cafe is always a winning choice. Breakfast, lunch, or supper. Diz's Cafe at 860 Elm Street in downtown Manchester. Dine in, take out, or make a reservation. Call 603-606-2532. Eat, drink, and be happy. Diz's Cafe.
When it comes to keeping WMNH on the air and your own personal or business computer needs, trust Groland Computers. Located on Elm Street in Manchester, Groland handles computer repair, virus removal, and custom-built systems. Are you looking for budget-friendly options? Check out our selection of fully inspected used computers. We offer tailored on-site solutions. No unnecessary expenses here. Visit Groland.com or call Groland Computers at 603-645-0101. Your tech, your way. Trust Groland Computers.
Midnight. 7 times out of 10, we listen to our music at night. Thus spawned the title of this program.
Late Night Delight with DJ Midas, right here on WMNH Manchester.
You wanna know why? Because I'm on the radio.
Saturdays and Sunday nights, midnight to 4 a.m.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
Behold the harmony of airwaves as you immerse yourself in the captivating frequencies of WMNHLP, the sonic heartbeat of Manchester, transcending through the ether at 95.3 megahertz frequency modulation. Our transmissions emanate from the zenith of 1000 Elm Street. Venture into the heart of our creative realm at 119 Canal Street, where innovation and sound collide. We bear the imprimatur of Manchester Public Television Service in the venerable city of Manchester, New Hampshire, USA. Enrich your auditory journey with the depth of our licensed resonance. Dispatch your missives to WMNH953@gmail.com or traverse the virtual corridors of WMNHradio.org. Engage with our sonic vibrations by communing with us through the digital channels. Your radio beckons, eager to enthrall you with its mesmerizing cadence and envelop you in a symphony of boundless auditory wonder.
WMNH, rip the knob off.
Oh, I love that so much. Such a great track. That is brand new from Rivia. That is called Peace of Mind. Great band from the UK. And one of the tracks that we're featuring this week on Matt Connarton Unleashed, that is the American radio premiere of that track. Again, that is Piece of You. I think I said Piece of Mind. Piece of You, rather. The band is called Rivia. And if you are listening live, this is Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM on this Saturday, August 9, 2025. Jenny is here, of course, at the news table.
present and accounted for.
And joining us, making her return to the show, she was on with us a long time ago. Amber Nicole Cannon is here. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Welcome back. So what did you talk about when you were on the show before? Because we were talking about this off air. And
Yes.
it was so long ago. It was in the previous building, but it was like how many, like, would you say like 4 or 5 years?
4 or 5 years. It's got to be at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd founded a company called Uncharted, and we teach kids science, but trick them into thinking it's art.
Okay.
And actually, it has since become a nonprofit, and we're growing. We've got 8 people working all the way from Franklin, New Hampshire, down to Lowell, Massachusetts.
Wow.
Teaching kids in hands-on, explosive, colorful ways.
Okay. It's starting to come back to me now because I think that was, I think when you were on, that might have been one of those times that I told the story of my own, when I was a kid. I remember how much I hated art class because I felt like they were trying to force me to be artistic, and I'm not visually artistic at all.
And that's okay.
Yeah, I thought so. The art teachers did not.
It's about exploring what your creativity actually is.
Yeah.
And, really, I'll be honest, teachers in schools are so overworked and tired, and they just need all our support and love that they just don't get the resources that really help every kid in the classroom.
Right. No doubt. We should start with, you've got a big show coming up.
I do. It's amazing. It's my first solo show. It is at the Nashua Public Library on Thursday, the 14th at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
And the show's been up for about a month and a half. So this is like one of the last chances you get to see it. We're doing like a closing instead of an opening because the summer's been wild.
Okay.
There will be cake because it's also my 40th birthday party.
Oh,
we just
okay.
decided you got to combine these things. We don't have time to celebrate twice.
Yeah.
But it's actually a big gallery. I didn't even know it was there, and I got to tour it, and I was like, I don't even know if I have enough work to fill this space. But it turns out I do. And it's been a wild ride. People have been visiting it and sending me pictures of them visiting it. And I keep going in every week to just, finicky touch up a hang tag or adjust an art piece. But it feels really good.
So it's been up for a while?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No, so how does that work? Can people just go, outside of the events, can people just go at any point to the library and see?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's pretty family friendly too, because I work with kids a lot. So if you want to bring your kids during the summer break, right before school starts, get their last bit of reading in before the summer ends, you can totally go check out the art pieces. There are even some pieces that'll appeal directly to kids that you can buy stickers or prints of that are like animals of New Hampshire.
Oh.
And it's a great library visit. And it's down in the basement. So when you come in the main doors and you turn right and you go down the stairwell on the right, or take the elevator that's on the left right there.
Okay.
You go down and it's this big open space. And I've got like really big silks that I made with Abel and H. And then we've got some cyanotypes around the other side of the wall. There's like this big wall in the middle where you can put art on both sides.
Yeah.
So it's big art. It's big art. Turns out I make big art.
Yeah. Well, okay. So tell us about the type of art that you make, because I saw this term biomedical art.
Yeah. So my background is I have a degree in biomedical art from the Cleveland Institute of Art, hence the Uncharted thing, teaching kids, science through art. I hadn't really been into my formal art practice, in the fine arts for a while. I really, society tells us artists don't make money, so you don't pursue the fine arts. And so I was really pursuing the commercial arts thing with illustration and graphic design and logos and that kind of thing. And I did fine, and I showed that work regularly.
Yeah.
But COVID hit, and I developed disabilities around the same time, more than I originally had. And I needed a way to get it out. So I just started making. I had to relearn to walk in Manchester during COVID.
Wow.
So I had to walk on the sidewalks in Manchester, which were not conducive to that process.
Yeah.
So I would walk for 10 minutes, sit down and make a painting for an hour and come back. And I just did that it was part of my physical therapy. I needed to do this.
Interesting.
And so these pieces have developed into what I think is a big feature in the show called disability frames, where inside each piece is this cute little 5x5 watercolor, but around it is this massive frame that's more than twice the size of the piece.
Yeah.
Reflecting the challenges I had getting there.
Wow.
Whether it was a lack of a sidewalk cut or whether it was just pain that day. I just couldn't get out of bed, right? They all reflect the various infrastructure challenges I
Yeah.
faced. Sometimes it was just wet leaves, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
wet leaves were very scary for me.
I can
for a
imagine.
point.
Yeah. Wow.
And so that's a big part of the show, is talking about my body and its development through this phase in my life.
Yeah. One of the things that comes up a lot on this show is, well, really a couple of things, but they go together. One is using trauma and challenge and negative experiences to create art out of that. You know, we interview more musicians than anybody, so we talk a lot about, you know, creating music from that. In fact, our guest coming up in hour 3, Nancy Monet, you know, we always talk about that with her too, because a lot of what she's been through informs the music that she makes. So we always talk about how that's really kind of the best therapy, right? Taking something negative and creating something positive, because not only are you creating art, but you're creating something that other people can relate to. So it not only helps you, but it potentially helps other people too. And the other thing that that seems to come up a lot on the show is COVID and how people found a lot of ways to be creative during COVID that perhaps would not have happened otherwise. And again, you know, when we're talking to musicians, it's usually, you know, well, you know, my band and we had to learn how to email tracks back and forth while we were recording an album because we couldn't all be in the same room because it was very scary and whatnot.
Digital skills, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And it really the pandemic really forced a lot of musicians to open up to things that they hadn't considered before. Even me, like I'm a certified hypnotherapist, and I found myself since the pandemic more open to seeing clients online, you know, instead of feeling like I had to be in the same room with them to properly do a session. So, but those are two of the things that we talk about a lot, you know, taking negative experiences and creating, and also how the pandemic kind of forced people to find new ways to do that, or new sources of inspiration to do that. But in your case, I mean, it sounds like this was a pretty serious example of that, right? Because of what COVID did to you and how you had to overcome that and create art while you're doing that. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, it really pointed out a lot of the challenges to getting around the city too for me.
Yeah.
For other people that I maybe just overlooked a lot because I was just zooming through life, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see people struggling until I was in the struggle.
Right.
And so I started reaching out to different organizations that supported disabilities like Able NH, and got to, as I healed, I was then able to bring some of my healing to communities outside of myself. And that's why the show's called Body of Work, because it's about bodies and healing, and then how when you heal inside, when you begin healing yourself, and I won't ever be fully healed, like, let's be honest, it's more comfort of where I'm at and then finding the next challenge.
Yeah.
It's about then bringing it to others so that they can maybe find some healing in what you've created. It's about connecting with people.
Yeah. So now you have experience in the pharmaceutical industry, correct?
I do, actually.
Okay. Do you still work in the pharmaceutical industry? Or?
No, Uncharted takes up most of my time. I also volunteer as a Department of Public Works Commissioner so that I can advocate for sidewalks and bike lanes in Manchester, which are very important to people getting around the city. That's how I turn my sadness and tears into, I'm going to work on this problem.
Yeah.
And then I got out of pharmaceuticals, so it's actually kind of a weird story, but I was working on the informed consent process, and I didn't feel like it was true or real.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find sponsoring companies for clinical trials that were like interested in actually making it a real informed consent process. You know, they get these like 2-inch, not really, but it's thick pieces of paper written at a grade level most people don't understand.
Yeah.
Saying, you know, I'm going to agree to participate in this clinical trial.
Okay.
But then they don't actually understand it, right? So, and then they get like surprised by something like a spinal tap, and no one wants a surprise spinal tap, right?
Right.
So, I realized I couldn't help the adults.
Okay.
Ultimately, I think we adults, even myself, we kind of get stuck in our ways, and it's harder to open up our brains to new ideas.
Yeah.
So I started tutoring some people who were very gifted in science but wanted to improve their art skills, because I could bridge that vocabulary channel, if you will.
Yeah.
And it worked. And so then one of the kids I was tutoring, their mom was a headmaster at school and said, come here, teach here. I was like, yeah, sure, okay. And then within 2 weeks I was in Polaris Charter School, and within 6 months I was in all the Title I schools in Manchester.
Wow.
Bringing this programming to kids so that when they hit when they're in control of their health, they'll be able to talk about it. They'll be able to help their family's health, and they'll be able to navigate the health system. That's really what it like stemmed out of. But
Yeah.
of course, we've gone wider. Like we're talking about watershed management with the Nature Conservancy, who sponsor projects with us.
Yeah.
And really focusing on all around science education.
How did that grow so quickly? I mean, because that's impressive. That
It's a great question. And if
Yeah.
I knew, I'd write a book about it. But
Yeah.
I think it was just clearly a passion of mine, and I was in it 100%.
Yeah.
And loved it. And I think that came through. And I think there's a real need for it too, because we do seem to be lowering the amount of money as a city that we're putting into schools. So other things need to come in to make up that deficit. And that's potentially, or it is, Uncharted coming in and teaching those things. And the kids are hungry for it too.
Yeah.
And I fully support all the teachers in our schools. They need so much more love and funds and everything to make their lives easier, because it should be easier for them.
Yeah.
But they are set into this mold that's been created by our systems. And Uncharted can come outside of that mold and reach the kids that aren't fitting that mold.
Okay.
And I think there's a lot more that don't fit the mold than we realize.
Yeah.
Just like people with disabilities, right? We don't fit this, whatever the standard, and I'm using quotations very clearly, whatever the normal is, we don't fit it. And, as I get fully more and more immersed and embracing of my disabled identity, I'm seeing it in kids too. Actually, one of the things that's developed is, as I read IEPs for kids and the things I need to be doing to make sure they're learning at the best of their ability, I'm like looking at it and going, oh, that's a good idea. I should do that for myself.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I'm learning a lot about myself when I'm learning about other people's disabilities, which is also why I try to be so open about mine.
Yeah.
So that other people can find it faster and with less trial and tribulation than I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, the kids have taught me a lot about myself.
Oh, that's cool. By the way, for people who don't know, what is an IEP?
An individual education plan.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for calling that out.
Oh, yeah, no problem. It's funny, over the years that term has come up a lot on the show, but people don't know. Well, if it's not something you've had to directly engage with, you wouldn't know.
No, you wouldn't.
No. So what parents who are putting their kids into, because you have like a summer camp kind of thing?
We do. We have summer camps right now.
Yeah.
So we ran 3 summer camps at Positive Street Art in Nashua because they are fantastic partners.
Oh, somebody from Positive Street Art was on. Who was?
Was it Yaz, Manny, Cecilia?
No. There was somebody involved though. I can't remember. It was a musician. Wasn't it a musician? I can't remember now.
There are so many good people that are part of that organization supporting it because it's doing so much good work.
Yeah. Was it Mike McDowell? Maybe the healer.
I stink with.
I don't
names.
remember.
Yeah.
You're asking the wrong one.
That's okay. But whoever it was, but it wasn't any of the 3.
Yeah.
Yaz was on the show a long time ago, but it wasn't any of the 3 people you mentioned. But we did have somebody on talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah. They're doing really fantastic work through the city here in like giving opportunities to, kids that had to pick different paths in life through various circumstances. And they also work with people with disabilities in really engaging and wholesome ways.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. So partnering with them was like a perfect kismet opportunity, and they have a beautiful space that we get to work out of with the gallery, and the kids getting so inspired by the artwork around them.
Oh, that's really cool.
Awesome.
And next week we're working with the YWCA for our Sci-Art camp. So you'll see us downtown here going around the parks collecting little specimens of bugs and spiders and plants and dirt, and we're going to look at under microscopes, and we're going to learn to draw it and represent it in a science communication kind of way.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
I remember who it was now. It was Justin Hunt. Is that name familiar to you?
No, I'm not as much on the music side, admittedly.
Gotcha. Yeah. Justin's, he's actually not a musician, but he came on with an interesting story. He does a lot of really positive things. I should get in touch with him. We should have him back on. But
probably. If he's associated with Positive Street Art, probably.
Yeah. I hope I'm thinking of the right person. So what was your experience like with art before COVID? Were you actively?
Oh, I never stopped making, really, truly. So I was working as a professional, like creative director and those kinds of things for different companies through time. And I always like just kind of doodled. I never stopped.
Yeah.
And you can look at the years on the artworks in the show too, and kind of see that was the case. Because I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts.
Okay.
Like it is arts.
Yeah.
But I really, I don't know. So I come from a long line of scientists, engineers, physicists, that kind of thing. And they were fully supportive of me going into the arts, even if it did make me a little bit of a black sheep. But I had my own internalized messages that I needed to make money at this. Whatever I was doing with the majority of my time, I needed to make money.
Right.
And so I really focused on the commercial stuff, making ads and illustrations that would bring in money. A lot less self-expression. I did a lot with like adornments that I didn't really consider art, whether it was sewing or creating things for my house, that really, when I look at it, those are art objects and are just as valid as anything else to be displayed in a gallery. And that came out of some of my relationship with Yaz and through positive street art too, recognizing that these everyday creations that we are making, whether it's even just in our life choices, they are art and they are shaping the world around us and should be considered just as strongly as a traditional painting.
Yeah. So you've always, when you decided to do that and to pursue that degree, did you have family members try to talk you out of it?
No one tried to talk me out of it. They did say, art will never pay as much as engineering.
Okay.
Which is funny because when my husband and I graduated college at exactly the same time, technically I was paid more than he was, and he's an engineer.
Oh, no
he
kidding.
quickly surpassed me.
Yeah.
But I just negotiated more for my pay.
Okay.
Hence, I run a small business now. I don't mind that kind of talk.
Yeah.
But they were supportive in the best ways they could. And they always knew I was some kind of artist. Like, my mom was like, even as early as first grade, like, she's drawing better than I am. Like, I can't, this isn't an area I can instruct her in. So they'd find me, art lessons at the library and things like that. I watched Bob Ross religiously.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And, both my parents have their artistic focus. Like my dad was photography growing up, and now he makes amazing award-winning wooden kayaks. He's retired, so he can do that beautiful thing. And he did it before he retired. My mom is a noted fibers artist that goes around and gives workshops on spinning and weaving and knitting. I think primarily it's the spinning she's into and the weaving.
Oh, wow.
But always an artist. They chose to pursue the fun making for their
right,
which is working well for them because they're retired and comfortable now.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Which, both based on my generation and time graduating and choices of my own career may never happen, but we'll work towards it.
Sure.
But I think even if I were to retire tomorrow, if I won the lottery or whatever, I'd still do exactly what I'm doing right now. So maybe I am retired.
Yeah. And in terms of the art that you create, because you mentioned that you didn't think, or you were uncertain at first when this opportunity to have your art at the Nashua, is it Nashua Public Library?
Yes,
is that the
it
official?
is, yes.
That you didn't think you had enough pieces necessarily for?
I was concerned, yeah. And I'd been focusing on these small pieces out of COVID, right? These things that I could travel with. Even taking, as I relearned to walk, I had to relearn to ski. So I would take them up on mountains. I'd ski a couple runs and sit there for an hour or two at the lodge and paint and then ski some more. So like it was a very, very compact.
Yeah.
But then I just started looking back over I just started pulling things out of the woodworks, where you store everything. And suddenly I've got a massive pile of stuff that I can put in.
No kidding.
And, not limiting myself, right? Because I'd done a lot of fashion work.
Okay.
And so there's several mannequins in the show with various pieces I've created for my body and other people's bodies. And then that's also why it's called body work, because it's all has to do with the body, the human body. As a biomedical artist, that makes sense because I am just kind of drawn as like a special interest.
Yeah.
And then it's not just my body, it's other people's bodies and the art that goes on their bodies.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you more about that too, because the name of the show is Body of Work, and I think I forgot to mention that earlier. So yeah, can you expand on that a little bit? Why it's called that, and what's your inspiration to call it that?
It was that pulling of the art from different places all over the house. I was like, okay, this is what I have. How does this all unite? Like, if this is all going to be one show, I either need to limit it, and give it lots of white space, or is everything relevant? And I began thinking about it, and I started looking at pieces that I was like, well, that's not relevant, but it's got a skull in it. Well, that's a body part.
Right.
Okay. This was created in relationship, in response to pain in my body. This was related to my body moving through space. This was a result of my body needing to rest. This was me networking with other people and learning about other people's bodies and helping their bodies engage in art. And this went on my body. And this is a T-shirt that goes on my body. And this is a dress form I made of someone else's body. This is a dress form made of my body. And I began realizing it was all about the body.
Yeah.
And so it is a little bit of a pun. I'm love a good dad pun. So it's like a body of work, because that you can call that, right, in an artist. Like, this is my body of work.
Yeah.
But it's also very relational to a human body, my human body, and the body of community that is here in New Hampshire through groups like Able and H and others.
Yeah.
So it really came about, and I was like, oh, it all relates. And there are a few pieces I didn't put in because they didn't relate, even if they were bigger, like pieces that were more focused on my yard or my garden.
Okay.
You could make a case for them to be in, but when I got to it, it really just, I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
It's about disability. It's about community. It's about, I don't want to say recovery because that implies like an end, but it's about healing.
Yeah. How are you doing today? Physically, I mean, at this point.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So, my idiopathic hypersomnia is well managed. The dogs have.
What is that?
It's a form of. It's like narcolepsy.
Okay.
And it means I sleep a lot when I'm not medicated. So there's a lot of meds I have to be on to manage that and to be able to drive safely and things like that.
Okay.
But it means I like a really varied day, which is great because that's what Uncharted gives me: bopping between kids and writing grants and interacting with people.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful, and a lot of it's focused here in Manchester, so I can walk or bike to get there.
Okay.
Keeping everything as safe as possible.
Yeah.
So, food for thought out there. Bike lanes are an accessibility device, basically.
Yeah.
and infrastructure, because then I can bike.
Absolutely.
And it keeps everyone safe and me safe.
Yeah.
And then I've got a number of neuralgias where they cause pain. My hardest one has been pudendal neuralgia, but that's been well treated over the last couple of years. But I seem to have developed two more, one in my neck and one in my lower back, that I'm going to see a new neurologist for at the end of the month.
Okay.
But we also discovered that my digestion, I haven't been able to digest fat my whole life. So now I've got great new big horse pills to take for that, but it's great so I can eat out more.
Yeah.
So my life has really, like, overall, like, if the last time we talked, if you had asked me, like, how are you doing? I would have been like, oh, I'm a sick person, but I'm fighting it.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I've hit this equilibrium that is doable.
Yeah.
And it changes from day to day wholly.
Yeah.
And I'll fully admit I took yesterday off and went to the beach. So that's probably contributing to my really great feeling today.
Right.
You have to take rest days.
Yeah.
But I couldn't go in the water above my waist because of my new lower back thing. So I'm, that's sad. And I can't stand up paddleboard right now because I'm not allowed to twist.
Oh, really?
But so in order to stay functional, like at least appearing, I have to do a lot of physical therapy. So like I work with a physical therapist outside the insurance companies because they don't want to pay for all the visits I actually need. And I pay her monthly and she gives me workouts and I do them. So I work out like an hour to 2 hours most days.
Yeah.
And it's, I love it. I love that I can do that. Like I'm at a place in my life, but it means I have to focus on my body like 10 times more than other people.
Yeah.
But ultimately I'm in a good spot.
Good.
Thanks for asking.
Good. Yeah, good.
It's nice that I get to say that this time.
Yeah, isn't it? And this was all, by the way, so this was all the result of COVID?
Oh, not a result. COVID had an effect. It did affect my heart. So I lost the ability to walk because I ran a triathlon.
Yeah.
And it turns out a tendon in my leg was turning to bone.
Oh.
Which is not supposed to happen. And they had to remove that. And then, so the amount of time that I was immobilized before the surgery and then trying to relearn to walk was what caused all that.
Yeah.
And then, so the narcolepsy, or the idiopathic hypersomnia, IH, narcolepsy is like the coverall term.
Yeah.
It's a form of. I started getting diagnosed in like my late 20s, but I'd probably been suffering through it all through college. Like I was a regular 10-hour-a-day sleeper in college. I never pulled all-nighters. Like,
no kidding.
Very regimented schedule so that I could function.
Yeah.
And I do have like a little bit of challenge with my heart from COVID. It just doesn't respond the way it should during exercise.
Okay.
But my physical therapist gives me exercises. It's like this really, like I've always been like a battler of exercise. Like give me the bike and let me go up the hill as hard as I can.
Yeah.
But she's focused way more on this gentle stuff that's hopefully just going to try to heal the blood vessels in the heart from all that. And it may be something that I have from the rest of my life, but I'll continue fighting it because I want to be a healthy 80-year-old.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm glad you're doing so much better though. That's excellent. And do you have more art shows planned after this one?
I'm going to look at talking. I haven't done this yet, so I'll reach out. But the Manchester Arts Commission usually allows artwork to be displayed at City Hall. And so for this show in Nashville, I had to purchase insurance for my artwork. So I figure while I have the insurance, I'll do it there as well. These places, city places, don't have the insurance like a gallery does.
Okay.
So, and I want to protect my work. So I think I'll try to reach out and try to do a show at City Hall.
Okay.
But I don't have any shows after that plan. But if you're looking for more shows, I always recommend checking out Positive Street Art. And Mosaic Art Collective, because they're always doing fantastic things. I love everything they're doing.
Yeah. Jenny's had her art at Mosaic and also at Terminus Underground in Nashua.
Oh, fantastic. Yes.
Absolutely.
Congrats.
I didn't know insurance. I didn't know that was a thing for. I guess it makes sense. So
when all of your life's artwork is all at one room that so many people have access to, I'm not leaving it uninsured.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
It's like I will part with just about all of it for a certain price, but
right, yeah.
But at the same time, it is my creation, and I don't have children, so I guess that's it.
Oh, there you go. Very good. So now where should people go online to, I assume, I mean, obviously you want people to go to the show on the 14th.
Please do.
But also, I mean, is there art online? I assume it is.
Yeah. My website, Biosci Creative. So BIOSCI creative.com has all the artwork there. And you can even purchase any of it that you want, including the stickers or prints or the whole on art if you're that kind of wealthy.
Yeah.
I'm not wealthy enough to purchase my own art. That's okay. It took so much time for those expensive pieces. But and then you can also follow me on Instagram, and that's the same, Biosci Creative. And the library has on their events page the details of the event posted. And do come and let me know you're coming, because we're getting cake. So I want to make sure I have enough cake for everyone.
Nice. By the way, is there anyone else you've met or connected with who uses that term, biomedical art?
So medical illustration is the old school word for it. And the degree program I was in at the Cleveland Institute of Art decided to expand it because that was a little old school.
Okay.
And biomedical artists do a lot more. Like I ended up through concentrating on different things with like a minor in technology integrated media. So like video editing, robotics and programming, web development, that kind of thing I ended up with, and that's still biomedical art and still used. Like, it's very relevant. Of course, 3D modeling and animation is huge. In that field because it's used a lot in videos.
Sorry about that.
We're going into time.
No, we're fine. I clicked something I shouldn't have.
Oh, it's fine. And so that degree program changed their name to be a little more modern.
Yeah.
But you can think, time goes back to like Leonardo da Vinci, Albrecht Dürer, Gray, of course, of Gray's Anatomy, not the television show, Netter. These are all famous people. But if you open up any science book that you get in elementary school, high school, college, and there's drawings in it, someone had to do those.
Okay.
So that's like the old school, low paid aspect of the job. But eventually, if you start working with startups and education materials, my favorite is taking like ideas from a physician and putting it in a way that everyone else can understand. It really is like a science communication field.
Yeah.
Where through my drawings and maybe even my writings now at this point, because I've gotten better at writing, I can communicate this idea from the idea originator, a doctor with a new procedure, to other people either in their field that need to learn it or to a patient who needs to understand what's going on.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's interesting to me because I didn't know, that term biomedical art. I didn't know if that was something a term that you had come up with specifically for what you do, or if this was a broader thing, but apparently it is.
It is broader. Yeah. Sci-art is the other one. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a hashtag. I think there's a thing on Sundays or something. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. And by the way, do you hear from people have people reached out to you either who've gone and seen in person in Nashua, or maybe just looked online and have said, this, I can relate to this?
Yeah, a lot of people have said it. And even one comment was, just getting to know you better, because there is, writing in some of those pieces that talks about medical stuff that may not come up in everyday conversation. I'm fully willing to talk about it, but I don't want to, down everyone on my medical stuff all the time. So, but it's there if they want to read it. And people
Yeah.
have reached out and said, it's really great to know these things about you.
Yeah.
And then, others have reached out and been like, you're talking about this gravel. I have a gravel piece that talks about how hard it was to get to a restaurant because they said their space was accessible, but it was gravel. And
Yeah.
I was in a wheelchair, so I couldn't get there.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
I had to be transported by another individual.
Yeah.
And she came up to me and was like, this is like so exactly what I'm experiencing, like going to the beach, trying to walk on the beach.
Yeah.
And I remember that too. I had friends that helped me get to the water because it's so rejuvenating for me.
Yeah.
And you don't know until you've experienced just how hard that is.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
The aspect of your own independence and freedom is huge. I have problems with my vision, amongst other things, as you know. I get transportation assistance sometimes through volunteers, through New Futures in Sight.
Yeah.
And to be able to make an arrangement to go to my appointment or to have a test done and not have to ask a friend or look for a favor, but it's an actual volunteer who wants to do this.
Yeah.
And I get to make the arrangement on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And that titch of independence is so huge. And it's given me back a little bit of dignity that I didn't have prior to having access to transportation assistance. And you may not think about that, but if you're somebody that maybe has a little time during the day, if you help somebody get to a doctor's appointment or get to a place to pick up their prescription even, that is so huge for that individual to feel strong in self and not feel like a burden or a problem.
Yes.
Or the constant, oh God, don't answer the phone, they're going to ask for a ride. That is like the worst thing in the world, is losing your ability to transport yourself.
Yes. And I can relate so much because before this current med that I'm on for my sleep challenges, I needed, if I was an evening event, I always needed to go with a friend because I was driving home. I wasn't willing to risk it. I've never had an accident because of it, but I'm not willing to hurt someone else because of my own hurts.
Right.
And now with this med, I'm a lot more comfortable, being able, and so much in small business happens at these evenings of events, just networking and connecting. And it was really hampering my growth.
Yeah.
And now that I can do this, we've exploded in our connections with other nonprofits.
Oh, that's
and especially
awesome.
when you have a disability or something that's going on, the end of the day is like the worst.
Because you don't know what you got.
Oh, you don't know what you got left. You've tried to space out your time and I'm only going to use one spoon.
Yeah.
I'm saving some for later.
Yeah.
And then you get to that end of the day and it's so hard and you have to push through.
Yes.
And I love everything that you are doing, what you're doing for people like myself, disabled people, and people who want to be expressive, people who want to experience life on their own terms.
Yes.
You give them that. And that is such a huge thing.
Thank you.
You don't really, it's one of those things that it really stinks, but I can't explain to you what it feels like unless you've lived it. And I hope to, heck, you never live it.
Never.
Right.
I don't want it.
Right. You don't want anybody else in your shoes. But if that little bit of modicum of understanding comes out of anything,
Yeah.
it is such a big deal for everybody in our community.
Yeah.
And and isn't that it's one thing I love about New Hampshire and the city of Manchester is there's a lot of community here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that you put these few people in a room together and it's amazing what can explode for kiddos, for people with disability, just for average anybody. Just to have somebody that in the community that smiles and says, hey, you exist and I really care about you is something that I think is kind of unique around here.
We're still small enough that those individual meetings, groups of people can get together and make a difference. And I'm seeing it now on Pine Street, right? They're repaving it and they're redoing the curb cuts. I don't know if you've noticed, but those curb cuts, the tactile stripping has been falling apart because they chose to try a plastic product and it didn't work. So they're redoing all those curb cuts and they're going to put that bike lane on Pine Street, which is fantastic. That will make me getting around because I live just off of Pine Street so much easier.
Yeah.
So there's other things if driving isn't your thing, if you're antisocial, I get it. I sometimes am if getting to know someone new is hard.
Sure.
Using that click fix on Manchester to point out a curb cut that has broken so someone using a stroller or a wheelchair can't get up or down it can be a huge thing. So the city knows where those things are to repair them.
Yeah.
Or that the tactile strips for people with vision challenges, if they're disappearing, then they may cross at the wrong spot and get hurt. And we don't want that. So noting where sidewalks are, because sidewalks are a big part of independence for people who are mobile but have other disabilities for getting around the city.
Especially with folks who are in wheelchairs, because you cannot bounce a wheelchair up a curve.
It hurts.
And you cannot, and that's a huge one. If I ask of anybody of anything in this city, my biggest pet peeve is people who park in handicapped spaces or on the lines. Oh, but I'm just getting my dinner. Yeah, but the person in the wheelchair can't get out of their car now because you're parked on the lines. And maybe that person was going to go to an event downtown, right? Like go to the Rex or whatever. And now they can't get out of their car to go because you've parked your car on the lines just because you need a minute. Don't do it.
Yeah,
please stop doing that.
See that a lot on Elm Street.
Or parking on the sidewalks. Our sidewalks aren't designed for the weight of your vehicle, and it destroys them. And we don't have the budgets to keep repairing sidewalks caused by vehicular, unplanned travel.
Right.
No, there were a number of businesses around Manchester that while I was using an accessibility placard and unable to walk, that I would, I see it, the people parking in the spots without tags. And I would go to do my grocery shopping. Now I couldn't unload the car, but I could get the groceries. And if I timed it just right, my husband could bring them in. Right. And so I would still contributing to the family, which I wanted to do.
Right.
And I would go, and I couldn't find a parking spot because they were full of people without hang tags. And I went into some of these places and said, do you know that this is happening? And they're like, oh, that's not a priority for us.
Right.
Like, talk about sending me home crying that day. Like, okay, so the groceries didn't get done, honey. Sorry.
Yeah, I can't get milk, can't get eggs, can't get bread. It's that serious, right? It's that significant to be able to have food in your home. You have to be able to get out of the car and back into it safely with everything that you need. So those spots are really a big deal. It's not a convenience thing or I'm just running in. This is about somebody being able to live their life to the fullest in our city and enjoy everything our city has to offer and get the basic stuff.
Yeah.
Most important.
And I'll mention it, the DoorDash drivers and things parking in those spots downtown.
I hate that.
In the restaurants.
Especially on Elm Street.
Oh my goodness. Stop doing it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Don't be so lazy. All right.
Yeah, and you can always call parking, Manchester Parking. Apparently, they say they like those tickets because they're more expensive tickets.
Yeah, they keep raising it, but people still doing it. I think somewhere around 500, I think.
But you can call parking. That helps a person out too.
I did once have that happen on Elm Street, and it was a glorious day because there's never usually somebody around when you need them.
Yeah.
And somebody literally pulled in front of me, and I'm telling this person, get out.
Yeah.
You're stopping somebody from, like, this is a big deal. You can't block the way to get onto the curb.
No.
Like, the curb cutouts you're talking about are essential for people to be able to actually get onto the sidewalk.
Right.
Or they are stuck in the street.
And you don't want to be stuck in the street when you're seated below eye level.
Right.
No. Or if you're using a navigational cane.
Oh, yeah.
I have depth perception issues. In certain situations, I need to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be in the street. That's like the worst place in the world to be because they're more likely to be pitfalls, to fall into. And then you get a new injury and a new issue and a new problem.
That's definitely happened to me, too. Yes, and it's not just people with disabilities that benefit from these things too. Like moms and dads with strollers, that's a big thing. Little dogs that have trouble jumping up the curb, those little dogs are benefiting too. Like I say this jokingly, but there's a lot of benefit to those infrastructure plans that we have. And we need to respect them so that the whole world is a better place.
And if you want people to be involved in the world around you, you have to make it accessible.
Yeah.
100%. I love how you use your artwork. I really love how you use your artwork to express the importance of these things, but in the most creative ways. And it's interesting to hear you talk about the anatomy and the art of the anatomy, right? Because I never thought about that. Go to school, like I never thought about my anatomy book. Who drew this stuff?
Someone.
Somebody did drew this stuff. But I have a friend, Megan Bent, who's an artist that does chlorophyll work on leaves where she's imprinting imagery onto the leaf. And she's done things like with spines and things like that. I think you totally love that.
I've got to check that out. I don't know anything about her.
When you were talking, I was thinking about that. I'm like, you have to know this person. You have to meet this artist.
Obviously.
She's an amazing artist, amazing activist.
Yeah.
Very much in the fight to make sure people have health care accessibility.
Yes.
So, you and I could probably talk about that forever and a day.
Forever. It would never end. We'd write a book.
Probably 10.
Well, we got to, the time does go quickly. We need to start to wrap up. But before we do, I want to make sure. So again, remind everybody about the 14th in Nashua.
6 o'clock, Nashua Public Library downstairs. You can get there with an elevator or the stairs. And I'm going to have cake because we've decided to turn it into my 40th birthday celebration as well.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, 40th and glorious. And yeah, just, if you can send me a quick message, let me know you're coming so I can make sure I have enough cake. That's awesome. If you don't, just come anyways. We'll figure it out. We'll cut half slices. I don't care.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a showing of my work. Actually, I'm going to have Jasmine Mann there playing a little bit of music.
Oh,
you guys
wonderful.
have had her on the
Nice.
show.
Yep.
And I love her.
Yep.
And I'm going to have mocktails as well. So like little cutesy. Yeah, it's going to be great. And it's at the public library, so anyone can come in and check it out. It's going to be a party. I really hope everyone comes out and just kind of flourishes a little bit together.
Yeah. Outstanding. And tell people again where they should go online to follow you.
bioscicreative.com. So that's BIOSCI. Not a lot of people like PSI. No. It's SCI, like science.
Yeah.
bioscicreative.com. And then on Instagram too, do follow me on Instagram. I post like sneak shots of the show. Once the show comes down, I'll post full shots. But right now it's just sneak shots because I want you to go if you can.
Yeah.
But not everyone can. I get that. So you will get shots later on.
Okay.
'Cause it's an accessibility thing.
Sure.
And then, you can always look at Uncharted as well if you were more interested in the kiddo stuff I get to do.
Okay.
And the event at the National Public Library is at 6 p.m.?
6 p.m. That's right.
Excellent.
Until 7:30.
All right. Well, very good. Well, Amber Nicole Cannon, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. This is fun.
Yeah. We'll do it again in the future. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And if you are listening live on
Give me a
Saturday, we've got Nancy Monet coming up in the third hour.
Oop,
and so don't go away. We got plenty more Unleashed to come.
You're listening to Matt Connarton Unleashed on WMNH 95.3.
And now, exclusively on WMNH 95.3 FM, Matt Connarton Unleashed presents the American radio premiere of the new track from Rivia. This is called Piece of You. And now, exclusively on WMNH 95.3 FM, Matt Connarton Unleashed presents the American radio premiere of the new single from the Falls. This is called Between the Lines.
It's the end of the night and something don't feel quite right to me. I've been taking some time to realize what's quite right for me. Well, I said people come and people go, so I try not to get involved. You never really know for sure who's gonna stick around. You take your time, it doesn't matter if you're wrong or right. You need to read between the lines and keep on guessing, keep on guessing. Cause you said you changed, but it all feels the same to me. And at the end of the day is what works best for me. Well, I said people come and people go, so I try not to get involved. You never really know for sure who's gonna stick around. You take your time, it doesn't matter if you're wrong or right. You need to read between the lines and keep on guessing, keep on guessing. Take your time, it doesn't matter if you're wrong or right. You need to read between the lines and keep on guessing, keep on guessing. You take your time, it doesn't matter if you're wrong or right. You need to read between the lines and keep on guessing, keep on guessing. Take your time, it doesn't matter if you're wrong or right. You need to read between the lines and keep on guessing, keep on guessing.
You're listening to Matt Connarton Unleashed on WMNH 95.3.
Another brand new track. This is Skull. The track is called The Whites.
Turn around and keep on running, take two, you know it's coming. My know the lights are burning, it's
WMNH 95.3.
World premiere.
Sepsis, uncross my heart.
Luigi's Pizza Bar and Grill.
Let's raise a slice on mine with toppings all around. It's a pizza party, oh my.
Luigi's Pizza Bar and Grill, 712 Valley Street, Manchester. Come on in or call 622-1021. Luigi, keeping the tradition alive since 1975.
Pizza for everyone. Come join the feast tonight. With each slice and topping, everything feels so right.
In times of crisis, you need a law firm that stands by your side. With over 40 years of experience, Craig and Getsoulis is dedicated to fighting for your rights. As former state prosecutors, our attorneys have the knowledge and trial experience to provide an aggressive defense against any charge, from DUIs to homicides. If you've been injured, our compassionate team will assess your case and fight for the compensation you deserve. Serving all of New Hampshire, Craig and Getsoulis is here when you need us most. Visit CraigGetZoulis.com for a free consultation. Craig and Getsoulis, your advocates, your allies.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at QueenCityCabinetryNH.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Hey everyone, this is Rob Azevedo, host of Granite State of Mind, and I want to tell you about Pembroke City Limits in the historic Suncook Village. PCL is an award-winning bar, restaurant, and music venue where there's live music 5 days a week and twice on Saturdays. Everything from blues, country, folk, funk, and a whole lot of jazz. We have 12 craft beers on tap, the local brewers in the area and some of the friendliest bartenders around. Please come visit Pembroke City Limits at 134 Main Street in the historic Suncook Village, only 6 miles outside of Manchester. Open Tuesdays to Wednesdays, 4 to 10, Thursdays to Sunday, 11 to 10. Pembroke City Limits, where it's all about the music.
Diz's Cafe is the place to put a smile on your face. Judy and the crew will take care of you. Bring your appetite and treat your taste buds right. Diz's Cafe is always a winning choice. Breakfast, lunch, or supper. Diz's Cafe at 860 Elm Street in downtown Manchester. Dine in, take out, or make a reservation. Call 603-606-2532. Eat, drink, and be happy. Diz's Cafe.
When it comes to keeping you MNH on the air and your own personal or business computer needs, trust Groland Computers. Located on Elm Street in Manchester, Groland handles computer repair, virus removal, and custom-built systems. Are you looking for budget-friendly options? Check out our selection of fully inspected used computers. We offer tailored on-site solutions. No unnecessary expenses here. Visit Groland.com or call Groland Computers at 603-645-0101. Your tech, your way. Trust Groland Computers.
Midnight. 7 times out of 10, we listen to our music at night. Thus spawned the title of this program.
Late Night Delight with DJ Midas, right here on WMNH Manchester.
You wanna know why? Because I'm on the radio.
Saturdays and Sunday nights, midnight to 4 a.m.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
Behold the harmony of airwaves as you immerse yourself in the captivating frequencies of WMNHLP, the sonic heartbeat of Manchester. Transcending through the ether at 95.3 megahertz frequency modulation. Our transmissions emanate from the zenith of 1000 Elm Street. Venture into the heart of our creative realm at 119 Canal Street, where innovation and sound collide. We bear the imprimatur of Manchester Public Television Service in the venerable city of Manchester, New Hampshire, USA. Enrich your auditory journey with the depth of our licensed resonance. Dispatch your missives to WMNH953@gmail.com or traverse the virtual corridors of WMNHradio.org. Engage with our sonic vibrations by communing with us through the digital channel. Your radio beckons, eager to enthrall you with its mesmerizing cadence and envelop you in a symphony of boundless auditory wonder.
WMNH, rip the knob off.
You'll see it comes directly from my heart. It's to you and it's from me. It's my way of saying and how I show respect for what you are braving and daring to affect. You aren't afraid to lead the way into the unknown. You understand the heart knows best and allow it to be shown. So cheer you on and flip the bird with a smile on my face. Hey little brother, it's you that I'll embrace. it's you that I'll embrace.
This is Jesse Rutstein and
Caleb Dyer. Oh, okay. We can let's do that one more time.
This is Jesse Rutstein and
Caleb Dyer. Oh, crap! Hold on. What do you want me to say right after that?
From Hatchet Axe.
From Hatchet Axe and Saw.
And then I'll say you're listening.
All right,
to.
sounds good.
This is Jesse Rutstein and this is why I'm the leader. This is Jesse Rutstein and
Caleb Dyer from Hatchet Axe and Saw Records.
You are listening to the Matt Connarton Show on WMNH 95.3 Manchester. What did I say?
Okay, all right,
What
all
did I
right.
say?
Let's do this. Let's do this again.
This is Jesse Rutstein and
Caleb Dyer from Hatchet Axe and Saw Records.
You are listening to Matt Connarton Unleashed on 95.3 WNA. Off, dude. This is Jesse Rutstein and
Caleb Dyer from Hatchet Axe and Saw Records.
You are listening to Matt Connarton Unleashed on 95.3 WMNH FM.
Hey everybody, welcome. We have entered hour number 3, numero trace of Matt Connarton Unleashed. For those of you listening live on Saturday, August 9, 2025, we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious Manchester, New Hampshire. Jenny is here, of course, at the news table. And
Nancy is asking you to send the Teams link again.
Again?
Well, she says it's not working.
It's not working? All right. Well, so in a moment, we're going to be joined by...
Why don't I have her call in?
Yeah, you want to have her call in? Nancy Monet, who's supposed to be with us, but she's having some sort of internet issue. We did just...
She
opened...
just said she thinks she got it.
Okay.
Maybe you'll see her.
Okay. We did open the hour with her brand new single. Well, I don't know if it's brand new. Actually, it's been out for a little while, we know, because it's doing really well on the charts, and we'll talk about that. Hey, Little Brother. And really looking forward to talking to Nancy. She's been on with us a few times. One time she lives in Texas, I believe, but she was on tour, and she actually came into the studio one of the times that she was on, which was really cool because she was able to, her tour routing allowed her to get here, which was great. But so we're waiting for her to join us.
Do you have her in the waiting room?
What's that?
Do you have her?
I don't see anybody.
You do not have her.
Nope, do not have her.
Oops.
So what we might actually do is play another track of hers while we wait for her to join us. She's got another song called Set Us Free, which I believe is going to be hitting radio next month. So let's go ahead and give this a spin, and we'll see if we can get Nancy on the line. Nancy Monet, this is called Set Us Free.
Of all the women who have gone before, they fought the fight and they went to war. They paved the way with their tears, their heart and laughter, despite their fears. Yet to come full circle to where
That is called Set Us Free, another great track from Nancy Monet, who is here with us online via Teams, I think. Hey, Nancy, are you there?
Hey, I am. Can you hear me?
Excellent. Yeah, no, you sound great. Welcome to the program. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So tell us about, so at the top of the hour, we played Hey Little Brother.
Thank you.
And it looks like that's been pretty successful for you as a single.
It has. Yeah. And you know, I know you talk with so many amazing artists and we're always surprised, right? You know, we have our personal favorites or the ones that, you know, we think will land, you know, very strongly with people. And then one that just takes off and you kind of like, wow, you know, and yeah, it did. And I'm really excited about it.
So what you sound surprised though. I mean, is there something about the song that you didn't think it was maybe as commercially viable as it turned out to be, or?
Really good question. No, I think I was just super playful about the song. And you know, it was for a very good friend of mine who is 10 years younger, and I call him my little brother, and he always calls me sis. And I just wrote this fun, playful song, really kind of, you know, as a tribute to him. And you know, I mean, like, because a lot of the other songs that that I write, that we've even talked about, are heavily thematic in the sense of like I've got something very strong, and this was just love and encouragement for my little bro. And yeah, I'm excited because it is for all the little brothers out there.
Yeah,
you know, yeah, for sure. So that's the reason, you know, because it just was one of those, you know, the people that I love in my life. I'll write songs for them.
Yeah,
you know?
No,
Yeah.
that's very cool. Is this the most successful single you've had thus far?
In commercial radio, yes.
Excellent.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
And this is from the album is Paths. And when did this come out? This is your newest release, obviously.
This is my newest release. It came out in May.
Okay.
Yeah, and so Hey Little Brother hit the airwaves in May, and it's just been going ever since.
Okay.
So
okay.
Yeah.
And you've recorded quite a few right now. How many albums have you recorded now? Because it seems like you've recorded a lot in a relatively short span of time.
You really want to know the number, like the actual album number we're working on? I can't see your face, so I'm getting nodding your head, yes.
Well, yes.
Okay. We are, and hi, Jen, by the way. We are working on album number 5.
This is, wow. You're working on number 5 right now?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
1 through 4 have been completed.
In what, a span of what, 2 years?
Yes.
That's great.
The first album took longer to write because I was in the process of, should I write an album, right?
Yeah.
What would I want to, well, not even what would I want to write about. I pretty much knew what I wanted to write about.
Yeah.
But it was more of the, can I, right? It was the can question. Can I do it? Not can I do it from a skill set? Can I do it because can I do it because I was always told I couldn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in 2020, I had to start kind of, you know, doing my own healing process of like, wait, yeah, of course I can. Of course I can do this. You know?
Yeah.
Like, wait, why was I told I couldn't? And then I listened to it. You know? So there was a lot of that I had to get through to get that first album written. But then, which really would be probably the first 1 and 2, and then 3, 4, and 5 have been in the last year.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of output in a short time. Do you think putting out so much music is what has led to your current chart success with Hey Little Brother?
Oh, you know, yeah. I mean, I guess I've never thought about it that way. But yeah, well, I will say this. Just the churning of music maybe is not the complete answer,
Mm-hmm.
because first of all, writing music, the more you write anything, right? The more you do anything, the better we become at it, right? So
Yeah.
plenty of songs, Matt, that I've written and I've gone, ugh.
Sure.
Or they've started one way and I've shelved them.
Yeah.
And I've pulled them off, and I've either completely, cut and pasted and just moved around, or just scrapped tons of the lyrics. And I took the theme, or sometimes I just completely start over with a new melody. But the ideas are there, right?
Yeah.
And so there's that component. Then I have a great producer. I really do, and he challenges me.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that we're in the process right now, the number 5, there were some songs, and we sat down. I've submitted everything. We sat down, and I said, okay, I'm going to bring my thoughts, and he's bringing his thoughts, and a couple of our thoughts actually aligned, and meaning, like, one of the songs, I said, I think this one needs to be revisited, and it was on his list, right?
Okay.
And he's always pushing and always challenging and always reminding me to do something different and expand my even my skill set. Just keep growing as a musician, Nancy. Keep growing as a singer, and show growth. Every single thing you do and write, push yourself further and further and further. And so that's a longer version probably to the answer to that question for now, for Hey Little Brother, because of all of that. And
Yeah.
I listened. I think having the right collaborators and then being willing to listen to what the feedback is, and push and stretch and grow, and even musically, I'll do things that I've never even tried before. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, have you worked with has it been the same producer for each project?
It has been.
It has been. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you definitely found somebody who you can work with, who brings out the best in you and has a lot of ideas. And that's great too, because, a lot of artists, a lot of artists don't want to hear ideas necessarily. You know what I mean? They want to go in and they know what they want to do. And the producer doesn't always know best necessarily, but it sounds like the person you're working with, who are they, by the way? What's their name? We should give them credit.
Oh, absolutely. David Percival with Yellow Dog Studios.
Okay.
And yeah, so he's been in the industry for 40 plus years, right? He's a Grammy-winning producer, has some very notable bands and experience,
Yeah. Yeah.
under his belt. And the thing about David Percival is that he never stops pushing himself.
Yeah.
So, the older that we get, we tend to get stuck, right, in our style or our ways, or this is the way we do something.
Yeah.
And he's constantly experimenting. So if I'm working with somebody who that is what he holds himself to, of course, I'm going to hold myself to that. I also, that's also kind of who I am. Never in my 20s, Matt, I coined, well, I think it was already coined, but I heard it somewhere and then I made it mine, right?
Yeah.
Never stop being teachable.
Yeah.
Always be teachable.
Yep.
And that just meant a lifetime of curiosity and learning and listening. And, we have an agreement that if he feels super strongly about something, he's really he is going to tell me.
Yeah.
And if I don't like something that comes across in production, I'm going to tell him. Like on the Pass album, the people may have loved it. I couldn't do it in the song it was in. We had a glockenspiel. And I'm like, Dave, it's got to come out. That's all I hear is the glockenspiel. And he was like, Nancy, it's so fun. I'm like, it's going to drive me nuts.
Yeah.
And now post-production and post-mastering, right? I'm like, now I only hear it, but nobody else knew it was there.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah.
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 It's funny.
So now, did you go on I saw something about a radio tour. Did you go on a big radio tour for?
I did. Yes. And we just spent so much time in the studio. I had to decide, okay, what are the priorities? What do we need to finish? What do we are? Because you can only be so many places at once, right?
Yeah.
That would be one.
Exactly.
At least for now, I can only be in one place at one time. And so, yes, so now yes, we did the big radio tour, we did shows, then we've just been hunkered down, either in my home writing or doing things locally, doing private events and in the studio. So now we're gearing up to get back out. To be on the road again.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, so what's the plan long term as far as, is Set Us Free going to be the next single? Did I understand that correctly?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Thank you. Which is very anthemic, right? So I wrote it with really specific intent, and we did drop it first in January, but I will tell you, Matt, I dropped it on January 6th.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to be as raw and as vulnerable, and we're just going to let it land where it landed. And, plus I talked with my therapist.
Yeah.
I was actually scared.
Really?
I was like, we just did what? We just dropped what song on January 6th? That's basically saying it's not basically, it's flat out saying we don't want what our grandparents built. And we don't want what our parents thought they could do without getting caught. Yeah, I'm calling our parents' generation.
Yeah.
Not everyone, right? Not everyone, very specifically. Sure. I'm making some statements, and I'm making them based upon what I've listened to, always remain teachable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening to what the younger generations are saying. And they're saying, we don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even want what all of you guys went out to scrap and build and work so hard, and all the stuff you've accumulated. We don't want it. We don't want that. We don't want war.
Right.
We want to get along. And yeah.
Did you say, because we've talked about the song before too, was there something too about a specific conversation that you had with your daughter? Am I remembering that correctly?
That's what started the whole thing.
Okay.
Was that she sat me down and just, said, there's a better way to do business, Mom. There's a better way to do life,
mm-hmm.
where you're not so exhausted because, right? I mean, we were taught to do it all, and we had to do it all, and we had to do it all with energy and never sleep. And it's the work ethic, and there's nothing wrong with the work ethic. Or my daughter's got a fantastic work ethic.
Yeah.
She's an amazing life where she actually builds in respite, and she isn't driving herself into the ground by 39 years old, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what I was doing. I was driving myself into the ground at 39. It was true.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know, laughing. Yeah, I made it, man. I made it past 40, but they said I wouldn't.
Right.
I didn't shift. And I think it's also the amount of stress and the amount of anger and the amount of hate. And she's like, Mom, it's just, we don't want it. We don't want a world like that anymore.
Yeah.
So,
you write about a lot of, obviously, like you said, Hey Little Brother is playful, but you write about a lot of heavy stuff.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I'm kind of laughing because there's some things I've not put music to, but I write, and as soon as I got off the phone with my daughter, I sat down and I wrote those lyrics. I wrote those specifically after that conversation because I was so moved by what she had to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
So came to January, I was actually pretty afraid of how that could land.
Really?
I was actually. I think nobody understood what was going to happen come January. I don't think we still do.
Right.
Right. And we're trying to navigate, and there was, Matt, some of my backstory. There was some old patriarchal, and there's nothing wrong with men, right? That this is not an anti-men thing.
Right.
But for me, that old model was very much what really kept me silent.
Mm-hmm.
Why I had to ask myself, can I do this?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That is actually why, because I came from that old model that really held or holds a lot of people down.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people down. And so, yes, of course, when that came out, I was like, oh. But we're leading off with it next month. So
yeah,
didn't hold for long. I was just quiet about it for a few months.
Has that changed at all, by the way, over the course of, because, like we talked about, you've been creating a lot of music. Has your approach or your priorities in terms of what you're singing about, has that changed at all over the course of that? Because obviously in the beginning, you had a lot to get out. At this point, are you still trying to work all that out through the songs, or has your priorities in terms of what you sing about changed at all?
So what you're saying, Matt, is, am I still singing about loss and trauma?
Yeah, well, I suppose I am. Yes.
Well, because that first work was really what I had done is I had weaved a story of my life.
Yeah.
And so that was a lot of that was, I would say, every song that was on that first work, or the first two, right? Because we've got a longer work that we did not release yet. And I would say that I had already gone through and processed that stuff, but now I'm putting it to music in a way that and the hope is that it would resonate with others that are going through that, right?
Yeah.
But yes, the trauma and things like that. So the answer to that question is, I still write from life, and I write from happy life, and I write from difficult life, and I write from painful life. Mm-hmm. And that part is not going to change. Oh gosh, how do I want to say that? There are just different styles of writers.
Yeah.
And sure, do I want my music to be toe tapping? I want it to be, drawing in, or a lot of ballads. I'm a ballad writer too, right?
Yeah.
And so I want those to draw people. My hope is that it draws people, but then eventually the lyrics hit, right? Like on the number 4, I've written a song about, and they're not coming out in that order, just so that's clear, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we're not putting them. So the technically the first album's not been released, and that won't be. That'll be actually hanging out there for a while. The long one that you and I originally talked about.
Okay.
The 17 song, rock opera
yeah.
is right. It's a lot to digest, and my advisors really said, they're like, just let's write albums for right now. Let's wait to bring that out. And that was the best advice. And if any artists are listening, listen to the advisors that have been in this world forever.
Yeah.
Just listen to what they're saying. And so in next year, a song's going to come out that's about one of my best friends who lost her husband after 38 years of marriage. And it's her journey over the last 4 years of what she had to do to move on, and just her thought processes in song format, right? So when I first wrote it, it was probably 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
I kept writing and writing and writing. I'm like, okay, now I have to trim.
Yeah.
And then it was still very long. It was still 5 minutes. And I'm like, nope, got to trim. So, yeah, I do. I write from life. I write from my own life. I believe in therapy. I believe in healing, and things always come up. They always come up. But I will say, thematically, I wouldn't necessarily, from my own, maybe because my life is settled a little bit. No, maybe from my own personal trauma, it's not so heavy, but I'm still writing thematically about things that I think about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Things that I see happening in the world, things that are happening to people I know, things that are just happening. Another one that's coming out addresses it addresses loss that's sudden, but it's specifically written about school shootings.
Okay.
Because I have a nephew that was in a school that in December had a student shoot up a classroom.
Oh my God.
It is, yes. And when that touches that close to home, my nephew is fine, but I know staff at that school. It was where my kids grew up, where I raised them, and it hit home very strongly. It was, the school's 3 doors away from where my kids grew up.
Yeah.
And so friends and teachers and community members in Madison, Wisconsin, all were affected, right? Everybody has been rocked and turned upside down. And that's not it. There's not even a great way to say it, right? It's just horrible and horrible. But then there's lighter songs, right? Of course.
Yeah.
For all the Generation Xers, we have one that's coming out too. So yeah.
All right.
I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I know too, you write a lot about, advocacy for LGBTQ plus, and I think that's important too, especially in the times we're living in.
Yeah. Yes. So on the one we're in the middle of right now, I have one that very much specifically deals with their freedoms and our Hispanic friends.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't even know what to say. I'm born and raised in a suburb of LA, and I live in Houston.
Yep.
And yeah.
You, you no doubt know people or have known people who are affected.
Huh?
You no doubt know a lot of people who have been affected by what's happening, or are worried about being affected by what's happening.
Yes.
Yeah, scary stuff. But certainly worth making music about. That's one of the best delivery systems for putting, trying to put a message out there and expressing your concern about what's going on.
Yeah. Matt, in my writing, I hope to be a bridge. So the last name Manet, actually, it's the artist who bridged 2 generations of art, right? I take his example from realism to impressionism. He taught Monet. And I thought about my life and just where I've been throughout my life and the opportunities I've been given, and where I tend to settle, or not settle as far as like I'm settling, but where I land, right?
Yeah.
And tend to land is in a space of bridging, right? Bridging 2 schools of thought, bridging 2 generations. We've got the younger generation and the older generation, and it's hopefully, like, if you could see me, my hands are all stretched out wide, bridging thoughts and ideas and helping to cross this divide. And if anything that I write can even just cause pause and for people to think, even things lighter, Hey Little Brother, right? It is a light and fun song, but if we listen, you aren't afraid to lead the way into the unknown. That means you're daring as a little brother to the world, right? To like venture outside of what you were told, even as a child, you had to be like.
Right.
Right. You're not afraid to do it, and you're leading the way on it. And so those have certain themes in it of encouragement and stepping out of what always has been and asking why.
Right.
And we're not all going to agree, and we were never supposed to all agree.
Right.
I just don't think we were supposed to be positioned with, warheads at each other all the time. I just don't think that was the plan either.
Right.
And so, Matt, how when you tune a guitar, it takes tension, right? It takes tension to tune a string.
Yeah.
To bring it into the right frequency, to bring it into harmony. And the only way to do that is we have to have tension. But if we have too much tension, it snaps,
Right,
right?
right.
Enough tension, you can't even tell what it is, right?
Exactly. Uh-oh, Nancy just froze.
Whoops.
Uh-oh.
What? Her screen is frozen.
Her screen is frozen.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, she did mention she was having internet issues.
Yeah, that has been a bit of an issue for her today.
Okay.
I wonder if she's like, is she in the city or out in the...
I don't know. It is late in the show. Oh, this is probably her on the phone.
Good.
Hey, Nancy, is that you?
It is. My power went down again.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh,
no. All of a sudden, it froze the screen. I noticed the screen was frozen. I said, oh, that's why she's not talking.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
so I hope this is okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just went ahead and called in the number. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, we're gonna have to wrap up soon anyway. But I'm glad you were able to call in, because I do want to ask you about to finish out the segment. We're gonna play this track, "Oh Son of Mine." This is another one of the songs that you sent us that I really like, and I wanted you to tell us about this. Anything we should know about this track.
Yeah, thank you. Well, it was a toss-up for which one was going to radio next. This one or Set Us Free. So we did a test market, and but not because it isn't a great track. We just had some people feedback, like the time was now, right?
Yeah.
For Set Us Free. But here is what. Well, one, it's a very personal song to me because it was written for my son, and my son is 30 years old now, but he at 22 bought a house. And when COVID hit, he sold that house and moved to the Houston region and ended up having to live off the proceeds of what he sold his house for. And he was really bummed, and he felt like a failure. He had trouble getting back on his feet. He had trouble getting work again. And it's taken him a while to dig back out. And in his discouragement, I wrote this song and sent it to him. And I said, anytime you're feeling low, I want you to hear this. And even some other friends of mine that were talking about their sons and the discouragements that they were feeling.
Yeah.
And I said, so this is for our sons out there. No matter who you are or where they are. Everybody that I've ever talked to, their sons have gone through, a down cycle, and they've had to pull back up. And
yeah.
And my bigger and broader hope for this song is that young sons, in that 20-something, that teenage years, that they may find encouragement and hope that they can keep going.
Yeah.
And they can start again, and they can always rebuild, and they can always remember that they are loved.
Excellent. No, I think that's fantastic, and certainly very relatable. So we're going to play that in a moment. One more thing, Nancy, where should people go online to keep up with everything that you're doing and find your music and everything you got going on? Where's the best place to go?
Primary Nancy Manet, MANET.com.
Okay.
And find me on Facebook. I am on Instagram. But I am on Facebook more.
Okay.
That's the way I would say that.
Same.
Find me on Facebook and really follow and send me a direct message, because I respond personally and I love connecting with people.
Yeah.
So send me a message through my website, send me a message on Facebook, and I'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
And watch the website for the updates of a tour coming near you guys.
Oh, fantastic. Hopefully we can see you in person again.
Absolutely.
That would be great. That would be awesome.
I would be honored to have you there. Me too.
Definitely.
So.
Wonderful. All right. So we're going to hit that track. Nancy, we will let you go. I hope the rest of your day, in terms of the internet, is better. But technology will fail us at times. I know the pain.
And thank you for being flexible and gracious, and as always, you two. I I'm really grateful to be a part of your show and have you guys on this journey with me. So thank you.
Oh, well,
for being who you are.
Oh, thank you, Nancy. We appreciate that very much, and we appreciate you, and we wish you continued success, and we'll talk soon again, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I would love it.
Okay.
Thanks, you guys, and thanks again for rolling with today's internet. You guys are the best.
No worries.
Can't help the internet.
Can't help the internet. That's right. All right, Nancy Monet, thank you so much.
All right. Next time in person.
There you go.
You guys.
All right.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, wonderful. So we're going to play this track, and then Jenny and I are going to come back with some final words on today's show. But check this out. This is Nancy Monet, and this is called "Oh Son of Mine."
Never forget who you are. You've done so much. You've come so far. Don't let anything hold you back. Keep your focus, stay on track. You are more than your failures. You are more than them. You are more than the color of your skin. Rise up and move forward, one step at a time. I am proud of you, son of mine. I'll cheer you on throughout your life, though it's up to you to make it right. I've taught you well, you know what to do. Make it rain, it's up to you. You are more than your failures, you are more than them, you are more than the color of your skin. Rise up and move forward, one step at a time. I am proud of you, son of mine. What you do today, it may not be seen, it will feel delayed. You're in between, results will come if you stay the course. Set your compass, follow true north. And when you fall, rise up again. Don't look back, I'm still your friend. I believe in you, and you will see who you are meant to be. And when I'm gone, don't you forget the man you are. Have no regrets. And if I'm no longer on this earth, remember my son, know your worth. You are more than your failures, you are more than them, you are more than the color of your skin. Rise up and move forward, one step at a time. I am proud of you, son of mine. I am proud of you, son of mine.
You're listening to Matt Connarton Unleashed on WMNH 95.3.
Well, we are approaching the end of another episode of Matt Connarton Unleashed. Of course, we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious Manchester, New Hampshire. And you can stream the show. And of course, you can find the archives of the show and everything if you go to mattconnerton.com/live or mattconnerton.com/unleashed for even more information on the show. And you can find the show on all the podcast platforms and all of that. And thank you again to everybody who joined us today. Of course, we had Andrew Voorhees in the first hour. In the second hour, we had Amber Nicole Cannon. And of course, we just spoke with Nancy Monet, and we finished that segment with "Oh Son of Mine," another great track from Nancy Monet. And by the way, that bumper that you heard and all the new bumpers that you're hearing on the show, we should mention too, those are from our friend Dylan Reynolds from Atom Bomb Artwork and Audio. He does a fantastic job. He's done a lot of great music too. He's a very talented musician, but he's also been doing the imaging for the show. And he does a great job with that. So we're really proud to be associated with Dylan Reynolds. Look him up. Let's see. The website is atombombartwork.com if you need some of that done. So not only is he great with audio, but he does a lot of really amazing artwork too. Let's see. Jenny, you had someone you wanted to plug.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys know it's never fun to be a forever sick patient, but it can be a little bit better if you can do some things to give some self-love and just to make you feel better. And I like to do that with my girlfriend, Cheryl. Some of you already know. Some of you might just now find out. She actually supplies me with beautiful nails and beautiful Park Lane jewelry. And I love doing that with her because I get to support my friend's small business. Plus, I get to enjoy some nice stuff. And, feeling good, looking good makes you feel better, right? So if you want to join me, if you want to have some fun, there's prizes to be won. I'm having a little pop-up party right now with Cheryl. You can go to joinvip.cherylkrakowski.com. That's KRAKOWSKI. Joinvip.cherylkrakowski.com. Or just hit me up and I'd be happy to pop you into my private party with me. And if you want to find out what kind of trouble I'm getting into, good trouble as always, visit jencoffey.com, JENNCOFFEY.com.
Very good. And you can also go to my website, mattconnerton.com, if you want to keep up with everything I'm doing. Oh, and congratulations, of course, to Christian Lacoste, a.k.a. DJ Reckless. The other night we attended the Fisher Cats game. Jenny and I, neither of us really care much about baseball.
I've never been to there.
But Christian was, at Northeast Delta Dental Stadium. Christian was throwing out the first pitch.
Not only did he throw out the first pitch that night, the next day he got to go to NASCAR.
That's right.
And participate in a NASCAR event. This kid's having a blast, and we are so proud of everything that he is doing. Catch him tonight in Portland.
Oh, he's in Portland?
Yeah, he's in Portland tonight having a special show.
Oh, very good. Very good. Let's see. Also, just a couple other quick things. There should be soon a new Hanging Left, one of the podcasts that I'm involved in. Our one guest today, Andrew Voorhees, he is the newest member of that show. So that's a show that I've been doing with Todd Ayer, and Andrew has joined us as well officially. He'll be our third mic going forward on the podcast. And
we did our first MCU.
MCU AF. Yes, the online only version of the show.
We always said we were going to do it. Now we're doing it. So you got to come check that out.
Yep.
So we're going to do that whenever we feel like it. So you got to kind of watch us.
So that is the podcast version of this show.
Right.
That is
totally different.
We do that completely separate from We do that completely separate from WMNH.
Yes.
So that has no association with the radio station. It's a completely separate podcast, but we call it Matt Connarton Unleashed AF. And if you don't know what the AF stands for, look it up. But on that is completely uncensored, unfiltered, truly unleashed.
If you want to have some fun and laugh and joke around, you can join Matt and Eric when they talk about wrestling on Tough Bumps.
So we're going to do that.
Is that tomorrow?
Tomorrow at 4 p.m. So Sunday at 4 p.m. We'll be streaming that live. So just keep an eye on social media for when we go live with that.
Lots of good stuff.
Absolutely.
Never going to run out of material.
All right, so if you missed any part of today's show, it will be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org and at my website, mattconnerton.com. And that's it for us for now. We'll talk to y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to Matt Connarton Unleashed on WMNH 95.3.
And now, exclusively on WMNH 95.3 FM, Matt Connarton Unleashed presents the American radio premiere of the new track from Rivia. This is called Piece of You.
No, won't break.